Okay, good evening and welcome to Saturday Night Gaming with Mark W. and Rob Bob. I'm your host as always, Mark W. And actually, Rob Bob is taking a break and is doing something else today. Hey, he's a teenager. He got his own friends. He doesn't always want to follow what I'm doing, and that's cool. But tonight, we are going to visit again the City of Terrors. I had so much fun playing that 2 weeks ago, and you guys seem to like it too. It was my second most liked stream of all time, and I've been doing this for this is basically my fifth year doing the streaming, so that must mean something. Honestly, though, most of the likes came after the fact, so I guess it was people catching up and watching the video that was archived after the stream. And one reason why that might be the case, I'm speculating, is that there's a lot of Tunnels and Trolls fans in the UK, and they can't really watch me live. There's also a lot of fans in Japan. I don't know what time it is in Japan right now, but I know in the UK it's something like 2 something a.m. or 3 a.m. So I could see why in the UK they wouldn't join. Anyway, yeah, here I am, and welcome to our super regulars, a couple of our super regulars, Eric Johnson and Dan the Man in the chat. And Dan the Man is already chanting about wanting a Tiger Man. Yeah. So let's do a little recap. Well, first of all, let's explain Tunnels and Trolls really quickly. This time, what I want to do in this stream, though, is spend more time actually playing City of Terrors. Last time, I spent a full hour talking about it and going through the intro and rolling a character and everything. I'm still going to roll a character, which will take some time, and I'll do a brief intro. Basically, Tunnels and Trolls is the... I actually am going to use the PDF of the manual to show you. This is it. Rather than having to work with the enormous hardback book, as awesome as it is, this is a little easier to show on the stream. It is known as the second role-playing game ever published. Some people debate that. Some people say Empire of the Petal Throne might be the second. The first one is obviously Dungeons and Dragons, but nonetheless, this is one of the first of all time, and it's persisted pretty much in its original form with changes and modifications made. But unlike some of the other ones, most of the older RPGs are either extinct or they've been extremely revamped. But this one has been like a kind of a mainstay forever, and it's had like a cult following. Tunnels and Trolls. It's you could go to a random gaming convention or something and mention Tunnels and Trolls, and there's like a 90% chance the person you're talking to will be like, what? What's that game? Or if they're an old guy, they might be like, oh, I remember that game. They had a lot of solo adventures, right? And that's mostly what TNT is about, but definitely not strictly so. It's the solo adventures such as City of Terrors. And a solo adventure simply means it's more like a fighting fantasy style game book or whatnot than your typical idea of a role-playing game with the dungeon master sitting around at a table with a bunch of his friends. The dungeon master tells a story, and people tell him the orders they want to execute or what they want to do. The dungeon master, like the god, essentially. Anyway, solo. Well, you can still play that style in Tunnels and Trolls, but they put out a lot more solo adventures, which are the game book style, than the adventures for GM play. One neat thing about the game is you can mix and match. I could, beef up a character in these solo adventures and then meet with my friend, the game master, and play with him. It's really cool. But yeah, I'm just playing the solo form. That's kind of all I do lately. I did actually gather a group a few years back, including Rob Bob and his friend and a friend of mine and the friend's son, and I was the game master, and we had a lot of fun playing an adventure called the first one we played was called the Riverboat Adventure, which is a brief one, which is written by the original designer Ken St. Andre, and then we segued into another third-party made adventure called Dungeon of the Rat, and we kind of left it hanging there. One of the nice things about Tunnels and Trolls traditionally, but they've been bought out by another company that kind of nixed this thing, but traditionally anybody could publish any content they wanted, and the main copyright holders, Flying Buffalo, at the time didn't really care. I mean, they encouraged it. They encouraged a lot of community published stuff. So I actually have quite a bit of those on my shelf, which you can't really see. But I like to support random indie publishers of anything that seems cool. And I probably have at least 50 of these solo books for Tunnels and Trolls. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to go into a rambling intro, so why don't we recap the last stream a little bit. Well, I had this character who's named Gonzalez, because I originally had rolled very high on the speed attribute for him. And he had some fun adventures, but eventually died, mostly because his constitution, which is your hit points in Tunnels and Trolls, was gradually whittled down by the spice damage that he faced. Spite damage is like incidental damage that is dealt to your character, and you can also deal spite damage to your opponents. It's not just the character who takes it. But yeah, that's the stuff that bypasses armor, little nicks and scratches. So even if you're a stronger opponent, spite damage will get through. Anyway, yeah, Gonzalez is dead. He had some really lucky rolls, if I recall, but he got whittled down, and one of the weakling wandering persons in the City of Terrors managed to finish him off. So rest in peace to Gonzalez. I gave him a bunch of extra chances and stuff like that. Anyway, the City of Terrors. Yeah, this is a sadistic adventure written by Mike Stackpole, who's a name you might have heard if you know the books such as BattleTech and a little franchise you might have heard of called Star Wars. He's a writer for Star Wars novels. This is our little map of the city. It's not really much yet. It kind of goes to show we didn't really explore that much yet. And I kind of have chicken scratch writing, but this is where you start in the city square, and there's 4 ways you can travel from there. We only explored 2 of those ways, and I don't think we even came close to fully exploring each of those. It looks like when you go north, you can only go to the Black Dragon Tavern, though. We tried some gambling there. There's always these rogues that come and put a damper on your day when you win. We engaged in an arm wrestling match. One time there was a scorpion where the loser's hand would be slammed onto a scorpion who stings you, and fun stuff like that. There were some orcs we encountered there, and the first time we got killed because they were much stronger than me pretty much. Anyway, then we tried going east along the Dark Way, which is a street, and met a lovely cat lady. And I gave her the best offer she had all day, if you recall that one. And then there was another street called Range Sea Road. I think about there is where I, every time you hit an intersection, you have to draw a card for a random wandering person. I think that's where I was finished off, essentially. So yeah, that's that. And I thought I'd roll up a character again today using my advanced rules. I have to come up with a good name for it, but I have come up with a set of rules that's very experimental, a work in progress, in which you can roll up a character who is basically better than level 1 from the get-go. It's a system I'm working on, so that way I'm not just making things up entirely, like saying, well, he's level 4. There's some making it up involved, but one new addition I have to that I'm going to show off is this thing here. I decide, if you have a character, and by the way, when I talk about rolling up an advanced character, that means it's supposed to be like he's been around the block a few times, at least around the dungeons a few times, you could say. And typically you would not just get stronger and faster and smarter. You would probably accumulate a bunch of like treasure and magic items and stuff like that. So yeah. And in Tunnels and Trolls, they like to do crazy things like, oh, well, now you have 2 heads. I just made that one up, but your like body can mutate and things like that as you progress. There's one character I have in my tiny Tunnels and Trips series that I periodically work on. His whole body is made of metal, alien metal apparently. Anyway, what I have here is some charts that I'm coming up with. Again, they're a work in progress. Where my system, what it starts out with, the decision you make is which level you want to start at. You want to be level 4, level 5, fine. You start with that, and there's some other stuff that I'll go through in a minute. But I decided to add this on top of it, this set of charts. So far, I only have 2 of them. I was planning on having 3: copper, silver, and gold. And the idea is, you pick your level, right? If you pick level 5, then you have 5 of these reward points, and each reward point you can spend on rolling on these charts. Copper reward is it costs 1 reward point to roll on that, and the silver one costs 3 points. So in other words, if you're level 5, you could roll once on the silver rewards chart and twice on the copper, as just one example. And I thought that would be a fun way to kind of stimulate, like, well, you found cool treasure and stuff. And every time I come up with a randomly cool idea, I will pull up this Google Doc I made and add something to it. But yeah, it's incomplete for now. I'm hoping to have a lot of fun doing this. I also like to make references to actual other solo adventures, such as this one is, especially the early classic ones I like to reference. This one's called Death Trap Equalizer, and one of the things that you can find in that game is you can have your hand transformed into a diamond hand that gives you a lot of extra attributes boosts, as well as while your hand is a solid weapon now. It's worth 4 dice in combat because it's made of magical diamonds or something like that. And also it glows in the dark, so you always have a light source in any dungeon or cave or whatever. So I thought it would be fun if it could kind of simulate, well, you've been through the Death Trap Equalizer or some other adventure, and you managed to find this cool treasure or mutation or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, in Tunnels and Trolls, by the way, you might be wondering, why am I making up all these random things? Well, that's how you play it. This is how the designer Ken St. Andre encourages you to play. This is how the community encourages you to play. Just the game's not perfect. It's not fully fleshed out. Maybe you could say, I don't know, but just make up stuff that helps your play. Maybe I shouldn't say it's not fully fleshed out. It's got a lot of stuff going on in the deluxe rulebook, but the idea is just to make it your own. And sometimes it can be a little difficult, right? If I wanted to level up a character enough to play here in City of Terrors, it could be I spend hours doing that, and then I'm unceremoniously killed by a bad roll. And so I kind of always thought it'd be cool to have a way to say, hey, I want to start up with a level 4 guy right now, or a level 5 guy, like a system to do that. And that's what I am working on. Yeah, without further ado, why don't we do that very thing? Roll up a character. And last time my guy was level 4, he seemed pretty much powerful enough. He just didn't quite have enough constitution to hang in there for long enough. But why don't we make a level 5 guy? How about that? So here's my overhead camera view. Always trying to work on my lighting and setup. Now I realize with my current setup, I have a little bit of a shadow from this post, that holds my camera, but whatever. I am obviously an amateur at this. How are you guys doing tonight, by the way, Eric and Dan the Man? Yeah, so why don't we roll up some stats, or attributes as they call them, and then I will enact my system for leveling up the guy. So first of all, we'll do the straight 3 dice for everything. Maybe I'll make him a non-human this time. Last time I had a human. And yeah, then I'll apply the... Hey, let's go crazy. We'll make him level 5. All right, so let's roll some dice. Strength. He has a strength of 9. And if you guys have any thoughts about which type of kindred, which is another word for race, essentially, that I should play, let me know. The basic ones, and you can play with crazy ones too, but the basic ones I like to stick to are human, elf, dwarf, fairy, leprechaun, hobbit. They call hobbits hobs. Yeah, I'm going to stick to those probably. Did I miss one? Stick to human, elf, dwarf, fairy, leprechaun, hob. Yeah. I guess it's kind of near St. Patrick's Day. It might be appropriate to pick a leprechaun. Anyway, we rolled for dexterity. A whopping 16. Not bad. Constitution. Again, this is the one you want to have a good one. Before the introduction of the spite rule, Tunnels and Trolls didn't always have spite, where you take little nicks and scratches in combat. Constitution wasn't quite as valuable because as long as you were the better opponent, you just never took damage. But I've learned that since playing with spites damage, you really need a lot of constitution. So let's hope I get a good roll. And also I could have put some of my level up bonus points into constitution, perhaps. I rolled a mediocre 9. Charisma. Charisma, the dump stat, 12. Charisma can be very useful. It just doesn't figure into like combat usually, or saving rolls too often. Once in a while, it can be really important. Luck. Oh, that's not a lucky guy. I'm gonna follow Ken St. Andre's rule of if you roll an 8 or less, you can give it a reroll. He said to do that for like any roll, but to me that's a little too much. So I just give myself a 1 reroll of an 8 or less. So let's reroll luck. Luck is probably one of the most important attributes. All right, so we got a solid 13. I'll take that. IQ. Not my literal IQ score, otherwise it'd be pretty stupid. It is 11. Wizardry is like your spell points or your mana. You do choose a spell casting type. Ooh, well, I'm not good in that area. 6. I was thinking of picking a spellcasting type, but I mean, I still can. I'm going to be putting in my level boosters. All right, 7 speeds. All right, so I'm not Speedy Gonzalez this time. That could be Slowpoke Rodriguez. Yeah, so I mean, if you want to go kind of roll with what I have here, like he's a really dexterous guy, we could go with that. Make him a specialist in his dexterity or whatever. But yeah, let's pick a level. What do you think, guys? 4 or 5? 4 is what we made last time. Let's go with 5. I'm gonna go with 5. He's gonna be more powerful, and because his wizardry is so low, I'm gonna go with a warrior again. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So level 5. Now here's where my stat boosting rules come in. So because I'm level 5, the way Tunnels and Trolls works is, if you were kind of playing it properly, once you advance your attributes, you spend your adventure points, which are basically experience points, to bump up your attributes, and the greatest of your 8 attributes, right, that determines your level. So because my greatest right now, I haven't picked a kindred yet. Actually, I should do that. My greatest right now though is 16. What you do is you basically slice off the last digit, and that's your level. So this would be a level 1 character, as is. But the idea was, if I was playing, legitimately, so to speak, I would need to have one of these attributes at least 50 to become a level 5 character. And yeah, Tunnels and Trolls goes kind of nuts with the attributes. You play a game like classic D&D. I don't know what it's like these days because I haven't played it in like 20 years. But classic D&D, 18 was pretty much the human maximum. And, if you were like, I don't know, some character who has a bonus to strength, like a dwarf, and you had the max roll of 18, it might become a 19, and that's like superhuman, pretty much as high as you can reasonably get. But Tunnels and Trolls, they're all bets are off. The numbers go crazy, and that's part of the fun of it. Is just so gonzo and ridiculous. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pick a kindred. Why don't we pull up the old manual and pick a kindred that way? I mean, I kind of know a lot of what's the deal with each of these guys off the top of my head, but nonetheless, I want to show it to you guys. So kindred, the playable character kindred. And again, the game is kind of crazy and loose. You could play with other stuff too, like orcs or whatnot. But these are the basic ones, essentially. The good kindreds: human, dwarves, elves, hobs. Call them hobs, not hobbits, fairies, and leprechauns. I'm thinking of going with a constitution strong guy. And I guess a dwarf would fit that bill. And when you pick dwarf, you can pick between 2 different kinds: Gristlegrim and Midgardian. Gristlegrim is apparently that was the name of an ancient wizard who created some kind of dwarves, and they're made out of stone. And Midgardian are more like your classic kind of token dwarves, I guess. You have elves. Elves are pretty much what you expect. I mean, pretty much all these basic kindred are what you'd expect. Fairies, they can fly and stuff, and they're very low in strength and constitution. They all have a multiplier, by the way. These are multipliers, so you would divide your strength and constitution by 4 if you're a fairy. Leprechauns, they look like this, I guess. Leprechauns, they can teleport. But here's the thing: a lot of these special abilities and weird special things and magic that you can get in this game don't always apply to the solo adventures, because they don't always give you an opportunity to use them. Like, there's not like in the paragraph, it's not going to say, well, if you can teleport away, go to this paragraph. Sometimes they might do something like that. But anyway, if I'm going with a constitution heavy warrior, I think it makes sense to be a dwarf. So off the bat, I can choose Gristlegrim or Midgardian. Well, stats-wise, the big difference is the Gristlegrim has a penalty to luck, whereas the Midgardian has a penalty to charisma. All right. And, you can get into the flavor text about being made of stone and stuff, how that could possibly matter, as an intangible sort of. But as far as the stats go, that's the difference. Luck versus charisma is lowered. All right, I'm going to pick a basic Midgardian dwarf. So I will write, let's switch cameras. Beep, beep, beep. Dwarf. Mid-guardian. We're going to go with the warrior again. So we're going to add in the multipliers, and then I'll add in my special bonuses for upgrading a character. So they get double the strength, which takes him to 18. You get double the constitution, which also takes him to 18. What else did we hit? Let me refer back. Right, 3/4 the charisma. So what is that? That takes him to 9, I believe, right? 3/4 of 12. I can math. Not very charismatic. And that's basically it. But now I will apply my cheat code, which is I'm saying he's level 5. And by the way, I apologize, I can't really zoom in with this camera the way I have it set up, so I have to just hold it up once in a while. Anyway, level 5, that means we're going to bump one of these stats to 50. And by the way, I could kind of play it cheesy and min-max. Like, I could have picked a fairy who has quarter the constitution and then chosen, well, now we're going to bump that quarter constitution, you know, which would be like 3 or something, up to 50. But, you know, I like to try to not cheese it too much. So anyway, we're going to select as our main attribute the constitution, because we learned that was so important before. So as a level 5 guy, he has 50 constitution. That's what he focused on developing. That's the idea. And now we're going to get extra points, which are 5 dice, because I chose level 5. And I'm going to apply that anywhere I want. I haven't decided if that should be anywhere you want besides your main attribute or not. I guess, you know, I think it's fine to give the freedom. Put it in. I could also, you know, basically pile it into Constitution more if I wanted to. But I think I deserve a little bit of a boost in other attributes, probably. It's all right. So I rolled not spectacular, but I guess not terrible. 10, 17. All right, I got 17 points to put elsewhere. Yeah, I'm going to not put any into Constitution. All right, 17. Well, I'm thinking of mostly focusing on the add determinants: strength, dexterity, speed, and luck, perhaps. What is it, 17 points? Let me write some scratch. Let's give myself a good strength boost, because he should be a strong dwarf. Let's give him a 22 strength. That's 4 of the points right there. It is good to have a good amount of dexterity if you want to dual wield. If I wanted to really play it super well, I would look it up right now to decide what I'm going to buy, upgrade accordingly. But I'm going to wing it to some degree. Let's go with 3 points also into dexterity. Let's bump up that speed a bit. That's pretty horrendous. Let's put 5 into speed. So we've got 12. All right. Luck is the best one for saving rolls generally, although you can find yourself needing pretty much any attribute for saving rolls. All right, so I'm gonna, with my 5 left, I'm gonna put, let's say, 2 into luck, 2 into IQ, 1 into charisma. All right, and we have our attributes now. We have 22 strength, 19 dexterity, 50 constitution, 10 charisma, 15 luck, 13 IQ, wizard respect, 12 speed. All right, I'll call that good enough. He's not going to have a huge pile of ads like my last guy, unfortunately, but hopefully he can get by. Last guy, Gonzalez, I made strength his main attribute. So you wind up having plus 43 ads. Essentially, this is going to be a lot less than that, unfortunately. But let's see how it is. And the way that works is between strength, dexterity, luck, and speed, every point over 12 gives you an ad. And that means you just add that to your combat roll. So I get 10 from strength. Cumulatively, we got 17 and 20, and that's it. That's plus 20 ads. All right. Next up, we roll our basic 3 dice times 10 for gold for starters. And then I'm going to say level 5 means you roll another 5 dice times 10 for gold. I think that's what I decided last time. I guess I might as well just get 8 dice altogether then. And this is the way Tunnel Control tends to work. It's about rolling piles of dice, even when it's a ridiculous number. And they're all D6s. All right, I just dropped something. Here we go. Okay. Hey, Lago Masker, who says, fair warning, 50 con doesn't make you tough. It makes you especially yummy to any number of things. I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah, it won't help you in combat as far as your totals go. All right, let's roll my gold. This time 10. And yes, I'm using my advanced character. So did I just knock that? I don't know if I did. Sometimes I think I might have accidentally moved it. Anyway, whatever. This is going to be 10, 18, 21, 27. Did I add that up right? 10, 18, 20, 27. It's over. It's saying that's 270 gold. For starters. All right. And now we're going to bring out my new experimental rewards charts. This is the last 2 weeks. Anytime I came up with an idea of a cool thing that you could have, I was like, oh, I'm going to add to the rewards chart. So I basically filled out completely the copper level one, and I'm still working on the silver level one. But I might actually add more to these, and then I can always make it a 4-die roll instead of a 3-die roll. So this is a chart. I explained this earlier. You were not here, Lago Masker, but this is my system that I'm doing to represent like treasure and other strange things that you've accumulated in your past adventures if you're rolling up an advanced character. So the idea is for the copper rewards, you spend 1 reward point. You have reward points equal to your starting level, so 5 for me. And the silver reward table costs 3 reward points per roll. So I only roll twice on copper and once on silver. And if I get a blank entry that I haven't filled out yet, I'll just roll again. All right, let's start off with the coppers. 3 dice. Sorry, let me adjust. I gotta get better at adjusting the cameras. I need a camera person. All right, I rolled an 11. And what that works out to is, bear with me a second. Yeah, it's kind of a middle of the road roll, so I made it just take any random treasure. So in the deluxe TNT manual, there's like a treasure generator system. So I get to roll once on that. So let's swap over to that. And wait, what page did I say it was on? Hold on. Page 219. All right, here's our random treasure generator. This is used by a lot of adventures and things like that. What you do is step 1, you roll what you find. It could be gems or coins, and typically just find a bunch of coins. And yeah, let's just roll. So first you roll the 2 dice. It's a 4. I think that's just coins. Yep, so coins. Now we do roll step 2. If you find coins, roll 1 die to determine the type of coins. Or we're gonna get a bunch of copper. Yay! Oh, let's see. Yeah, a bunch of copper. Okay, that's the garbage. Those are the pennies of the TNT world. So we don't do step 3 because we didn't find gems. We just roll 3 dice times 10, and that's how many copper we got. All right. How much garbage did we get to? All right, we got 110 copper. I'm just gonna say I was gonna say I converted it to gold, but that's 100 copper for gold, I believe, right? I think that's how it works. So basically I got 1 gold and 1 silver, we'll say. I'm updating my character sheet. Okay, so that was 1 roll on the rewards chart of copper. Let's roll again on copper. It's kind of appropriate that I found copper on the copper chart, right? Well, that's a decent roll. I tried to make like the less common things to be like, you know, the less frequently rolled numbers, such as 18. But this is a 16. I don't remember offhand when I made that, but let's find out. Oh yeah, this is a cool little treasure I made. So even though, this is the lesser reward, I did make it so that the rare rolls, such as 18 or whatever, could be pretty good. So what I made is, it's called a saving amulet. A magical amulet that, I meant to say, that's when worn. I can update that. That when worn, allows you to add 1 to all of your saving rolls. This applies to the final total, not each doubles roll. A roll of 3, 1, and 2 is still a catastrophic failure. Also, you may, once and only once, overcharge the amulet to add 5 to a saving roll. But this overloads the amulet's magical fabric and causes it to crumble to dust. So I thought it'd be cool to have for some of these things, have the concept of you can sort of overload it or overcharge it, and it has a really strong effect, but then it crumbles to dust. Hey, Dice Tales, how's it going? Dice Tales says, awesome solo play. TNT, kicking it OSR. Glad I found your channel. Glad you joined, Dice Tales. Welcome. I haven't seen you around before, so welcome. So yeah, I'm gonna write down my special saving amulet, and I will just refer to the chart if I need the details. All right, so that was my 2 rolls on my copper rewards chart. Now I'm gonna roll once on the silver. And what I'm doing for your explanation, Dice Tales, is I'm trying an experimental system I made for starting with an advanced character. In other words, not like a basic level 1 character, in which you can start with higher stats and stuff like that. And these charts that I made here represent like your character's treasure and such that he had accumulated while he was leveling up out in the world. All right, so I'm spending my last 3 reward points on a roll on the silver rewards chart, and if it's a value that I did not fill in yet, because this is very much a work in progress, I will just re-roll the dice. So swap into overhead camera mode. All right, I got a middle of the road 10. I think I just made it like 2 rolls on the treasure chart, so it's nothing too fantastic this time around. Let me I keep switching the wrong windows. Here we go. 10 is, yeah, take 2 random treasures. Okay, that's fine enough. All right, so back to our treasure chart. First, once again, we are going to roll 1 die to see what we find. Oh, sorry, 2 dice to see what we find. Coins or gems, or coins and gems. Looks like that's probably just coins, right? 7. Yep. And we roll 1 die to see what kind. 4, that is silvers. Yeah, it's mediocre. That's fine, though. And now we roll 3 dice times 10 for how many? 90. Okay, we're just going to add 9. Sorry, my hand's in the way. 9 gold. Because 90 silver is basically worth gold. That brings our gold piece total to 280. And we get 1 more treasure roll. The rewards table said to roll twice, essentially. Come on, let's get something cool like gems, whatnot. 8, that's coins again. Oh well. The dice giveth, the dice taketh away. So now we will roll again. What kind of coin? 1 die. All right, we got gold. Woohoo! There's no platinum in TNT. Otherwise, that probably would have been a platinum roll. Anyway, it's nice to get another 3 dice times 10. And that turns out to be another 120 gold. And that is all our starting treasure. Our guy didn't really get anything super. I guess he did. He got that saving roll amulet, which is actually quite good. I should put that on the silver chart too. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's again, you can add 1 to all your saving rolls. Or you can do a 1 shot, add 5 to your saving roll, but then it burns out. I'm going to say you have to call that before you roll, though. It's my design, so I will say that's how it works. All right, so we have our level 5 character. And yeah, he just needs a name. What's a good name for a dwarf, guys? Actually, we need to fill out a couple of other things, too. I need to do talents. Let's do some talents. I'll do the talents work. I'm trying to remember how many I have. 1 second. For the benefit of anyone who didn't watch last time, this is my self-designed character sheet, the deluxe one. What I mean is it's for the deluxe edition, but it's also a deluxe sheet because it has a space for everything. It has pretty much everything on it that you could ever need. It has a front and back. But also what I'm most proud of is I tried to make only all these little hairy rules that are difficult to remember. I tried to make them all represented here, such as what I'm looking for right now is talents. All characters gain 1 talent per level, and rogues gain a bonus roguish talent. All characters may obtain an additional talent for 300 adventure points once per level. I'm gonna have to figure that into my character generation scheme. Like maybe you spent some adventure points on talents or something. For now, I'm just gonna say I have 5 talents because I am level 5. So let's pull up the manual again and find talents. Yeah, so I can actually do stuff. That's why I have this advanced character generation system. Brumley the Hammer, says Dice. Sure, let's go with it. Brumley. Should I wield a hammer then? I don't remember if the manual has hammers in it. It might. It probably does. It has a lot of stuff. All right, talents. I'm gonna go with the simple talents. There's basically 2 different ways. There's like the basic and the advanced one. Sorry, I'm being a spaz here. Page 64. I'm on 84. There's got to be a way to just hit a hotkey and go to a certain page, right? Yeah. Sometimes the page number in the PDF doesn't match the book number. Here we go. Talents. So basically what it means is anytime there's a relevant saving roll to the talents I have, I can apply it and get a +3. And Dice Tale says less cliche than a battle axe. That's true, yeah. So there's quite a large talent list. Let's say, you know, being a dwarvy guy, he's probably good at crafting. Maybe he's a brewer too, or a candy maker. Let's say he's a blacksmith, because that seems very dwarfy. He has some blacksmith talent. Might as well pick another one from around here, like armorer, or I don't know. Yeah, let's go with armorer. So now warriors in this game have a way to repair armor, I believe, to begin with. You would make a saving roll, I think. So I can say that when he does it, he applies his armorer bonus, and then he would get a +3. Okay, 3 more to go. We could have him be, even if he's not like a brain, you could have one kind of a cultural related thing, perhaps. Or bargaining, bartering, that can be good to have. Let's go with bargaining. All right, if anyone in the chat sees a talent they like, feel free to call it out, and I will apply it, or I will take it. That's pretty much it. I know I'm scrolling a little bit fast. Sorry about that. Deep water fish. Some of them are kind of bonkers, like, or like they're very niche, or like very you know, I don't know. I guess one of them like mathematical theory or something like that. Like, okay, I guess that could be useful, but I don't imagine my dwarf warrior is going to be using it much. There you go, Eric says theoretical math. There, he mentioned the one I was thinking of. What about? Yeah, I want to have one thing that seems like a little bit out of character, just for the fun of it, like he's an actor or something like that. I'm gonna pick for that wonky one. He's a poet. Yeah, there we go, poet. And that leaves just one more choice for talent. He likes to write poetry. Singing, says Dice tells it. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna replace poet with singing. I like that. That'd be fun. Maybe he sings in the middle of battle. All right, one more thing. Let's go with something maybe wilderness or outdoorsy, or you can choose the roguish ones too. The roguish ones are listed here. It's just that when you choose the character class rogue, you get like piles of those for free. But you could still take them as well. Maybe I'll get something like Streetwise or Pickpocket. Yeah, Eric Johnson says Streetwise. Let's go with Streetwise. Yeah, that should likely be useful in City of Terror. Now you have to be, you have to actively think to use these talents. The game's not going to say if you have Streetwise talent, use it now. It might mention a couple of reminders like that here and there, but generally you have to kind of rationalize, hey, this applies here probably, so I'll take my +3 to the saving roll. All right, so I guess we basically have our character set. I think I knocked my camera a bit around. Sorry about this. I'm very much an amateur with the camera work. Nice Tale says Brumley could be a singing thug. Yeah, I like the idea. Maybe it's almost like a bard, but he just kind of just randomly sings and it has no value. He just likes to sing. All right. So we can buy stuff now, weapons and armor. The dwarf wrappers. Yeah, let's see what kind of a hammer we can buy. Now we got 400 gold to spend, which is a nice amount. Got to find my way around this manual a little bit better. One day I'll learn it. Weapons, page 31. Dwarf wrapper. I was almost tempted to like impersonate something just now, but you guys don't want to hear that. I'm far too white. I do have a beard, but it's not. I still don't consider myself very dwarvish though, nor do I consider myself a rapper. I'm also way too tall. I am way too tall to be a dwarf. Okay, hafted weapons, and maybe there's something there. We can get like a mattock or a pickaxe here. Okay. Large pick or piercing weapon. Bludgeoning hafted weapons. Here we go. Hammers, yeah. And now the way TNT works in this deluxe edition, at least, is they give you like the general category, like medium bludgeon. But you shouldn't write that down. That's just the category. They all basically function the same. You should pick one of these specific examples of it, because that gives it more flavor. In other words, don't say, well, I got a medium bludgeon. Say you have a war hammer or a war spoon. I mean, a war spoon doesn't sound as dangerous as a war hammer, but it does seem like it would be useful for maybe a giant avocado or a giant bowl of oatmeal or something. No, I don't know what a war spoon is. But yeah, also it's good to note what is two-handed or not. These are actually not two-handed. You know, you could probably disagree with some of the designations in Tunnels and Trolls, but yeah, why don't we go with a large bludgeon or combat hammer? Right, you could go heroic even, or maybe even gigantic. Do we have enough strength? No. See, they all have a strength requirement and a dexterity requirement. My strength is 22 and dexterity 19, so I actually can't use a heroic bludgeon because I only have 22 strength. I can always just say I made a little bit of an adjustment if I wanted to use that. Also, it is good to it is generally good to dual wield if you can. Maybe I'll go and it kind of make a lot of the dual wield combinations are silly. Like, well, maybe I'm gonna have a warhammer in one hand and a dagger in the other, but it is quite effective in this game. So I may do that very thing I just said. I can say I have a heavy warhammer, and then I'll have like, you know what? Maybe I could use two. No, the way it works when you dual wield, you have to add up the requirements. So I could have a I could have like a small thing here, a cudgel. Why don't we do that? That'd be fun. I'll have a warhammer. Heavy warhammer in one hand, or a heavy flail. I don't know what the D15 means, honestly. Somebody thinks they D15 in parentheses, huh? I think I knew it at some point. I don't feel like reading through all the time. Oh, here we go. Acquired dexterity of 15 to use. Why did they that doesn't make sense to me. Why would they put in a category with something? It's a different requirement, then make an exception. Anyway, I'm gonna pick a heavy warhammer perhaps, and a billy club. How about nunchucks? This dwarf with his hammer and nunchucks, dual wielding like that. So going by the book here, I'm supposed to give it dexterity of 15. I don't get why they have these random exceptions. The game's kind of a little bit fast and loose. I don't feel like it needs that. Anyway, heavy warhammer, and is a pacifier like a baby pacifier? How about a a cricket bat? Sledgehammer, two hammers. He's got a sledgehammer as his lighter one and his heavy warhammer. We're going with that. We're going with that. Okay, let me just write this down. Heavy warhammer, which is how many dice? 6. Yeah, 6 dice. And the sledgehammer is 3 dice. Okay, I got those two. And by the way, you know, if you want to play by the book, you're supposed to like add up all the weight units, and you know, you have a weight carry limit of 100 times your strength. So I have 22 strength. It would be like 2,200 weight units. I essentially ignore that unless it have a realistic reason to worry about it. Like, for example, sometimes the text in a solo adventure will say you can carry, you know, you find a treasure hoard, carry as much gold, you know, pick up as much gold as you can carry. Well, okay, then I have to do something about it. Also, I like to simplify it. I like to say, simplify the rule quite a bit. I say if you don't add up everything, it has to be 2,200 or less. You just say your heaviest object, of which coins counts as one object, has to be 2,200 or less. I just don't like having to increment and decrementally little weight units, and it's just kind of tedious. So that's the way I play it. I make the game my own, like they say to do. Could you dual wield 2 cricket bats? Says Dice. I guess you could. Most monsters would run from a dwarf, charging toward them, waving around cricket bats and singing. Yeah, I mean, hey, but heavy warhammer and a sledgehammer, you know, that's pretty fearsome too. That's what I'm going with. All right. I think we're just about ready to. Oh yeah, we should get some armor, and I should actually pay for my stuff. How much did that cost me? I thought that this was going to be a quick jumping into the game, but I guess as long as you're doing all this stuff like buying equipment and rolling stuff, it is going to take a while. Oh man, I think I technically don't meet the strength requirements. I just realized you would have to add them up and get 26. All right, I'm gonna cheese and bump down a couple of other things I added to get my 26 strength. Not really cheating, it's still character creation time. But let's see. I got to add 4. Let's bump down charisma, IQ, luck, and speed by 1 each. Those are other things that I had bumped up. So yeah, you know, I don't feel too cheesy by doing it, but you know, I would feel cheesy to just ignore the requirements, but this works. And I actually adjusted my ads somewhat. That means my new ads are again, it's each point above 12 in strength, dexterity, luck, and speed gives you an ad. So this is 14 plus 2 is 16 plus 7 is 23, and nothing from speed. So I have 23 ads. Okay. And Dan the Man says giant killer crickets would be terrifying to me, but I hate bugs. I like the bug cricket. Okay. Yeah. Let's get some armor. Oh, how much did that cost me? Sorry, I'm being a little wonky here. 100 plus 2120. So I have 280 gold left. All right. On to armor. Yes, there are guns in this game. Where's the armor? Those past the guns. All right, full suits are the simple way to go, but you can also get piecemeal stuff. And I do have basically 280 gold. Boom, 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 boom. You can get torso or a full suit. Let's go with the full suits to keep it simple. All right, let's see. Yeah, some of these have a dexterity penalty, which kind of sucks. They didn't used to have that in the older editions. And you can kind of like min-max it, like just, I don't know. You could go piecemeal and then have a good amount of protection and then not actually have a dexterity penalty. Anyway, I said I was gonna go with a full suit. Let's just roll with it. Yeah, armor's expensive though. Geez. Hmm. I guess I could get the ring joined plate, perhaps. That would be all my money. I couldn't buy any other special equipment. It's good to get at least a Delver's package. Why don't we jump to supplies first? Where is supplies? Should be soon, I think. Poisons. I think I passed it. So the Delver's package is a nice, convenient thing you see here. It's got all kinds of goodies. Backpack, tucker bag, water skin, which is full, 5 matches, 5 torches, 30 feet of heavy twine, 2 pieces of chalk. Never know when you might need some chalk. All right, we're gonna buy one of those. Kind of a standard thing I do. Now, back in the day, I used to worry about, well, am I buying shoes and clothes? And I just kind of gloss over that these days. I kind of used to be like a stickler for playing it right, so to speak, which is why I would spend countless hours playing the game because I would die. You know, I want it to be legitimate, so I would die and have to make new characters. And all right, now we'll go with the armor now that I've bought that thing. Yeah, the warriors can double their armor effectiveness, by the way. That's one of their abilities. Just searching the PDF is not working as well as I'd like. Because armor gets mentioned all over the place. All right, let's see. Let's go piecemeal. I changed my mind. Or I could go with light leather or something. Oh, this might be good. Studded leather or cloth gives me 5 hits of armor, and it doesn't have a dexterity penalty. And I wonder if you can get a piece of no, I think the full suits include everything. So yeah, that's not really fantastic, but why don't we get like a breastplate and a helmet or something? Breastplate costs 70 and has 4 hits taken. Armor's not hugely useful in this game as it might be in other games. It's good to have though. Yeah, I bought my breastplate. Let's get like a helmet or something. A open face helmet sounds good. We'll pick one. We're gonna call it a Roman helmet. Yeah, we got a Roman helmet. That's kind of a fun image with the 2 hammers and everything. That costs 16, which brings my gold to 189. And the Roman helmet protects for 2, was it? Yeah. All right, I can buy more junk. Arm armor. I could get it's funny. It's funny how sometimes things are just worse. Like this top one here, the Vambrace, costs 170. And this is just as good, but it costs 75. Let's get that arm bracers. That takes me to 1. Sorry, I'm being dense with the math here. 112. Bracers give me 1 protection per arm, so that's 2. I can get some greaves or boots or something. Greaves cost 1 for. I don't have much. I have screw the armor for the legs. Should I get any more supplies or blah blah blah? Maybe I'll just roll with what I got. What about like a dagger or 2 to use as a ranged weapon in case that can come up? It doesn't usually come up, but you can improvise in this game. You could say, well, you know, before the battle begins, as long as the text doesn't say like he pounces upon you, the enemy pounces upon you. You could always say, well, I get 1 shot to use a missile weapon or something like that. It's kind of how you have to play the game sometimes. I could say I have a one of these daggers, a medium dagger or something. Now, when it says dexterity required, the one after the slash is how much you need to throw it. So I could throw a medium dagger. So let's say a butcher knife, because that's funny. Throw a butcher knife throwing dwarf who wields 2 hammers. I'm gonna buy 2 butcher knives. Butcher knife for throwing. And that's gonna, that's 2 dice plus 2. It cost me 40 altogether. Leaves me with 72 gold. I mean, I could buy more potentially useful supplies, but I'm going to roll with this. This is what I'm rolling with. All right. So, yeah, already I've got a lot of erasing and stuff going on. This character's kind of funny. But this is what I got. We have Brumley. Thanks for the name. Brumley the Hammer. Thanks, Dice Tales. And we're level 5. We got a heavy warhammer and a sledgehammer. That's 9 dice of damage altogether. 2 butcher knives to use in the off chance we need to throw a dagger, or perhaps if we lose a weapon, one of the hammers, it could be a substitute. We have this nice saving amulet. We're really good in strength and constitution, especially constitution. And with that, why don't we enter the City of Terrors? Here we are, folks. Let's get into it. Where do you start? 33C? It's like ingrained in my memory to go to 33C. I hope that's right. That's where you begin. And again, I'm kind of glossing over all the introductory stuff since we did that last time. Here we are at the city square of 33C. Let me just bear with me a moment as I get my stuff set up here. We're not going to fight this guy from the spaceship right now. Maybe we'll fight him later, though. Okay, 33. That's down here. All right. This is the city square. Here is your hotel, along with a carriage ready to take you to your ship. I don't want to do that. I'm just starting up. Okay, so we can go east on Dark Way, which we did last time, but there's more to explore in that direction. That's where we found the cat lady for starters. You can go into the wilderness by going south to 48B. To the north, the rogue route will take you to the Black Dragon Tavern. We did some of that last time. For those of you who are of a religious bent, you find your interest lie to the west on the Ranger Road 33. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking of not going to that Black Dragon Tavern this time, but perhaps one of the other choices. I could go to the cat lady direction again because there's more to explore there. But yeah, maybe the best decision would be a new route. So south to 48B perhaps, or west to 33A, where they talk about a religious thing. I think that might be like a temple of the beetle god or something like that, if I remember correctly. Still working out this camera stuff. Bear with me a bit. I'm sorry about this. Figure out the best way to lay out all this stuff that's going on in my desk at the same time. All right. If there's no suggestions, I think I'm gonna go west to 33A. That's on Ranger Road. Hey, 33A is right here. That's pretty convenient. This is the temple of the blue beetle. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't even looking at that page. I just remembered that. The temple is long and dark. The altar is a giant carved beetle. There is a hole in the middle, and what seems to be blood grooves. Okay, so that means there's sacrifices to this thing that go on. That is artwork by Rob Carver. Great bug, says Dan. I'm putting more light on the subject. I think we need that. There we go. That's better. Why did it have to be bugs, says Dan. I made that part up, but I'm imagining he's like Indiana Jones. All right. There are 2 doors behind the altar. Off to your right, you see 2 orcs. They are talking in hushed tones and pointing at you. In the front of the temple, you see the skulking form of an ogre. He is trying to hide in the shadows, but is having little to no success. To approach the altar, go to 32D. To move in the direction of the orcs, go to 41C. If you want to trail the ogre who just left via a secret panel in the north wall of the temple, go to 49F. Okay, if you guys want to suggest something, one of the options in the chat, let me know. Otherwise, I will decide myself. Let's see. Approach the altar. I don't know. I kind of want to creep after the ogre, I think. What's he up to, that ogre? All right, let's go creep after the ogre. 49F. So how did you come across the stream, Mr. Dice Tales? I advertised this on a bunch of places today, so I imagine it was one of those, such as the Solo Adventurers Facebook group, 2 different Tunnels and Trolls Facebook groups, also Twitter and Threads. I mean X. Sorry, it's not Twitter. It's X. The worst name change ever. Anyway, 49F. The ogre you are following picks his way through the city carefully. He uses each shadow to its fullest. When he reaches the wood on the outskirts of town, he begins to move at a very fast pace. Fortunately, you are quick enough to keep after him. He slows as he reaches a cave. He enters it, and from the sounds issuing from there, it sounds like a large meeting is taking place inside. If you wish to follow him inside, go to 42A. I'm going to regret it. If you want to turn and run, go to 6C. I mean, I think I'm going to let the curiosity get the better of me. And, I'll just reset my character if I die. It always makes it easier to take a risk if you're like, well, I'll just, start him back at the beginning and reset any damage or whatever. All right, so I'm going to 42A to follow him inside. What's he got going on? He's luring me into a trap probably, and I'm going to die again. Just like those orcs last time, where there was 1,000 orcs in the building. Yeah, it's not these guys down here. The reason the cave sounds like there's an ogre meeting in it is because there's an ogre meeting in it. Okay. You peer from behind a stalagmite and watch as 2 ogres fight to the death. The larger one is... Oh, it's like Fight Club for ogres or something? The larger one is slower than his small opponent. The large one aims a swipe with his bec de corbin, which is a large polearm, if I remember correctly, at the little one's head. It connects in a glancing blow. The smaller ogre steps inside the larger one's guard and delivers a savage blow to the midsection with a mace. The large ogre grunts and lowers the boom on the little one. The beck crashes into the small ogre's skull. You watch in horror as the big one, Ogara, I guess he said his name, or her name, stoops and bites the throat out of the vanquished foe. Suddenly you feel strong hands upon you. You have been discovered. Make a saving roll at your level on IQ. Oh, I hate when they do this at your level stuff. I don't like that. I disagree with that as a principle. That means instead of saying it's this difficulty level 2, it's whatever your level is. So I'm level 5. And last time, we encountered that before. If you have to roll at like a level 4 or 5 saving roll on a attribute you haven't developed super well, you're just screwed. Anyway, I have to make a level 5 saving roll on my IQ. My IQ is 12. Level 5 saving roll means, let's see, it starts at 20 for level 1, and then you increase by 5 each. So it goes 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I need to roll 40 minus IQ on 2 dice, which is 28 or higher on 2 dice, doubles and roll over. Okay. Now, I do have that magic amulet that gives me a +1, but here we go. Let's get a lot of doubles, I guess. Okay. That is what they call a catastrophic failure. Now, most of the solo texts don't take that into account, but if it did, that would mean something horribly wrong. It goes horribly wrong instead of just a fail. But might as well take my adventure points from it. I think I neglected to do this last time very much. But for every saving roll, you take your total roll and multiply it by the difficulty level of the saving roll. And you take that many adventure points. So because it was a level 5 saving roll and I rolled a 3, I get 15 adventure points, even though I might die right here. All right, so I failed the roll. Go to 54A. See how forgiving Mike Stackpole decided to be And he wrote this in 1978. Don't expect him to be very forgiving. Okay, time for a fight, it looks like. At least it's not instant death. $54. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing the right camera. 54A. You are smart enough to realize 3 things. Maybe I could have made a street smarts edition there. It wouldn't have mattered. You are smart enough to realize 3 things. First is that you don't have long to live. Okay. The second is that you have just witnessed a chief challenge in which Ogara retained the title of chief. Third, you see a way out. You hear your voice cry out, I challenge Ogara for the office of chief. That's my way out. Okay. But I'm not even an ogre. The ogre chuckles and refuses until he is reminded that by tribal law, he must fight you. Oh, good lord. His attributes are strength 60, IQ, smarter than me too. IQ 16, luck 8, con 20, dex 7, and charisma 10. He has combat edge of 45, and his hands are worth 3 dice in barehanded combat, which is how you will fight. Oh, I can't use my warhammer. That was kind of the only thing that I was thinking would be giving me the edge is my hammers. All right, so the thing is, I pretty much have no chance unless I want to make up something fun. Should I make up something fun? What if I can sneak in some dagger stabbing or something? I don't know. Let's see how I want to play this. I could always try going berserk. It's not going to work. Berserking is an alternate combat mode where you kind of cancel all of your adds, but you can do doubles and roll over. I mean, any duplicates on your rolls and roll over. However, if I'm only rolling 2 dice, it's not going to really help me much. I'm better off with my 23 adds that I have here, but it doesn't look good because you can... I don't think I have a prayer. All right, you know, I guess we can invent the special saving roll option. What can we do? Maybe I make a It's interesting that it says your hands are with 2 dice. That kind of contradicts the rules. Whatever. We're going with that. I don't know what to do. What's a good saving roll? Yeah, we have to come up with an explanation for it to work. We could say like I do a cool wrestling move on him or something. It has to be convincing, or I don't like to do it. I mean, I don't like to just say, oh, I do a cool move. Short musical career for rapper dwarf MC Hammer Broomley. Yeah, I agree. Dan the man. All right, let's give myself some saving roll. Why don't I say, let's integrate the rapping into it. I'm going to intimidate him with my rapping, and hopefully, here's what we're going to say: if I succeed, it's gonna be a level 1 charisma saving roll, and I'm gonna add my +3 because of my singing talent. So that means I need an 8 or higher. And if I succeed, he's gonna roll half his roll for this one turn, which is still probably gonna screw me. But if I fail, I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm dead anyway. I'm dead. So let's try to make a. Oh, it's an 8 or higher with my talent, but my saving amulet also figures in, so it's 7 or higher that I need, essentially, by my made-up math. Yeah, I did it. Okay, I intimidated him with my dwarf rapping. And I'm giving myself 11 adventure points. Okay, so he's going to roll half his total just this one round. This is going to be my only prayer to do any damage, I guess. All right, so let's... I actually do have these things I have to remember. So there's these 2 special things that Ken St. Andre mentioned in the intro. He said, he kind of added a little safety buffer to the game. He said, if you ever make a saving roll fail that kills you, you can go to 4E to get a second chance. Or if you want to ever flee from an opponent, you can do so here. So maybe we'll see how I roll with this first combat round, and if that fails, maybe I'll flee. I'll have to look up in the intro exactly how that works. All right, so yeah, what are we doing here? This is from last game. So ogre, he gets 3 dice plus 45, and his con is 20. I'm gonna say his roll is halves because I intimidated him just for this one combat round, which isn't gonna be enough to kill him probably, but let's find some dice for him. 3 dice. All right. And I'm going to be rolling 2 dice plus 23. Essentially, we're like more or less even because I made up that saving roll, but then there's no way I'm going to beat him by 20. All right, so we rolled a 12 plus his adds of 45 is 57, and we're having it for this one combat round. We're going to say that's a 20, 28 or 29. He got a 29 we're going to go with. $29. And yeah, I'm rolling 2 dice plus 23. All right, so I even lost when I gave myself that special saving roll. So he did 2 damage to me. All right, now I have no prayer, but at least my armor protected me from that round. I have enough of it. You know, you can add your. Oh, maybe I should I go with that? Should I go with? I think I can do that with. I think it applies to barehanded. So warriors get to add their level in dice to all combat rolls, which I forgot about. But I'm not entirely sure if it applies to unarmed combat, but I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to add another 5 dice to my total. All right, that's a great roll too. 10, 19, 22. Give me 49. Oh, look, then. I mean, that means I beat him by exactly 20, which is enough to bring his 20 constitution to 0. We made it happen. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to add 5 dice, but here's the thing. The book, the manual says a warrior is supposed to add. Yeah, mic drop. Boom. The book says that a warrior adds their dice per weapon. So if you dual wield, you would add 10 dice in my case. But I remember the community having a discussion to say, well, that makes dual wielding even more crazy than it should be. Just make the warriors add their level for the whole combat. Like, in other words, it doesn't multiply per weapon. And I guess it would be that for unarmed combat, I would roll it too. But part of succeeding in this game is bending the rules a bit. So we're going with that. I beat him. It's kind of funny, though, that it worked out to be exactly on the nose for beating him by 20 con. And Ogre was blinded by the blings, his dice tails. All right. You kill him, go to 48. Take that. I guess I'm the new Ogre Chief now. Oh, there's the cat lady again. Should I have a romp with her later? 40A, you stand victorious. Ogara's body is beneath your feet, and you are the chieftain of the ogres on Foron. Wait, I'm not even an ogre. I guess that's what they meant by like the tribal law said it. They have to accept, even though it's BS or something. Anyway, you see the ogres are restless, and you fear they may revolt. If you'd like to do nothing and see what they will do, go to 44. I don't know about that one. If you'd like to whip them into a fighting force, how does that work? Go to 34A. If you'd just like to give up the throne, go to 35A. What do you guys think I should do? Should I try to whip them into a fighting force? What, I'm going to have an army of ogres following me? That would be pretty awesome if I pull it off. Blinded by the bling. Playing fast with the rules. My dwarf who likes to sing. Let's see. Any thoughts? All right. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to whip them into a fighting force. That is 34A. That is what Dice Tales agrees with too. Cool. We're going to go with that. 34A. Hello, beetle. Clearly you can encounter the beetle. And that's not John or Paul. All right. 34A. Kind of puzzled because I don't see a paragraph reference. All right, let's see what it says. Make a first level saving roll on charisma. If you make it, they tolerate your training them. If you miss the roll, three or four of the big ones rip you limb from limb. Any ogre this character meets will follow his orders. The ogre he commands will do whatever he says, unless he tells them to do something likely to get them killed. You get 500 adventure points for this situation. However, it lowers your charisma by 3 points. This character should be taken from this adventure and never return, as the citizens of Gull might take a terminal dislike to. All right, so basically this character's done for tonight either way, unless I just rewind or something. But let's see if I can even make the saving roll on charisma. I have a 9 of charisma. I have this bargaining talent that I'll say applies, so I add 3. I try to convince him not to kill me, and I have my saving roll amulet, which adds 1. So I'm going to say I need a 7 or up, which is the same as before, that last charisma roll I needed to intimidate him with my singing. But it's kind of crazy. I mean, if I succeed or fail, I have to figure out what I'm doing from here. I'm playing as a new character or what? Anyway, here we go. 10 doubles and re-roll, so extra points for me. Okay, that's a 16 altogether. So I get 16 adventure points, taking me to 42 adventure points, and I'm apparently the leader of the ogres or something. Oh, I get 500 adventure points as well, as I mentioned there. So I got a lot of adventure points. I'm just done with this character apparently, though. That's funny. He is the ogre chieftain of Gull. Brumley the Hammer, ogre chieftain of Gull. All right, should we roll up another character? We'll declare him done. I'm wondering if I can do it faster this time. Like that's the kind of thing I dread a little bit. Not dread, but it's kind of like, well, I got to really spend another 20 minutes rolling a character. I don't know. What if I make a clone of him? No, I kind of want to try like a wizard or something. That might be fun. City of Terror aptly named, says Danimate. Yeah. Thanks to my rapping. Rapping is very terrible. All right. I'm grabbing a new character card. Where did I put them? I could bring this guy in another adventure, I guess. You know what I'm inclined to do? Let's bend the rule and just put him back in the city. Just say, well, what do you guys think? Should I just do that? Let him go in again. Otherwise, I got to roll up a new one. At the same time, I kind of wish I kind of want to try maybe a wizard type or something. And I don't know where I put my character cards. I thought I just had a pile of them around here. Argle bargle. All right. I mean, I can improvise, but maybe they're here. This is the Wandering Person's deck. We're gonna go with his twin. Yeah, we could do that. Kind of annoyed I lost my character card though. Okay, I'm just gonna roll with the same character and make up some nonsense. Yeah, he maybe enough time had passed. He took a break, went on vacation, and people forgot he's the ogre chieftain. That's the story I'm going with. All right, so I'm gonna start over with this character as he is, and AP. I can spend his 542 adventure points to upgrade some of his attributes. Which might be a good idea. The way the costs work is it is 10 times the current value is how much it costs. For example, if I wanted to upgrade his strength, which I don't think I need to do, that would cost 260. I think I need to upgrade some of this other stuff though. Luck, IQ, charisma, those come into saving rolls a lot. Perhaps I'll upgrade some of those. And charisma seems to come up a lot in this adventure, at least. All right. Let's do some math. It would cost me 90 for the first level of charisma, then 100 for the next. That's 2 points. I could do an IQ point for 120. So that running total is 310. A luck point too. That is a total of 450, I believe. That leaves me with 92 left. I could just save the rest. All right, so what did I say? 2 charisma, 1 IQ, and 1 luck. All right, that's what we're doing. And let me add that up again. 260, 360, 450. Yeah, so I have 92 adventure points left. And I'm bumping up the luck to 15, the IQ to 13, the charisma to 11. Okay. Tiger Man would have tamed the ogres easily, says Dan. You and your Tiger Man. Tiger Man. Yeah, let's have some more fun in the city of Gull without rolling up a new character. Oh, I said it lowers my charisma by 3. Oh man. I'm just gonna ignore that too. I guess I shouldn't. It would be my. All right, let's bring it back down to where it's supposed to be. Which should be 6. And then what I spent was, well, I spent 190. Let me redo that. I'm gonna give myself 190 back. That means I have 282. And to upgrade my charisma a few times, let's see. 3 times would be 210. Sure, let's say I did that. That means I have 9 again. And 72 adventure points remaining, I think. All right, so I lost charisma. I'm going with that. Fine. But I'm allowed in Gull again because I said so. All right, so back to 33C, which is conveniently right here. All right, we're back at the city square. So we can. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing the right camera. All right, I'm not going to take my ship. I can go east on the dark way to 40C. Guys in the chat, let me know what you think. I'm going to let you guys choose this time. Dark way is over to the cat lady and then some other stuff too. We can go into the wilderness by going south to 48B. To the north, the rogue route will take you to the Black Dragon Tavern, 32A. And again, for those of a religious bent, you find your interest lie to the west on the Ranger Road, 33A. I could always play that differently and ignore the ogre. So yeah, 48B is the wilderness, 40C is the dark way, Black Dragon Tavern, 32A, or back at that temple, 33A. Eric says 32A so you can use your street smarts. Okay. $32A is Eric Johnson's vote. If anybody else wants to chime in, I'm giving you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Black Dragon Tavern it is, 32A. All right, we've been here before. Maybe we can do something different this time, like play poker. And then we'll have all our winnings stolen by the rogue guy. Right, here we go. This is what we see when we walk in, I guess. Mr. Pirate Man here with a lot of wrinkles. I always like to say Rob Carver likes to draw his characters very wrinkly and sinewy. In front of you is a tavern. The sign above it announces that this is the famed Black Dragon Tavern. When you enter, you see that the Black Dragon offers its customers nearly all the various modes of entertainment known to man. Oh, that means we can play, we can watch somebody stream on YouTube. You can play the one-armed bandit in the corner, 22E. You know, when I was a kid and I saw that, I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what the phrase the one-armed bandit meant, so I thought it literally meant like a thief with one arm. He's been in an accident. You may arm wrestle with the man on your left, 18C. Excuse me, or play poker with some toughs in the back room, 28. Of course, you can drink, 6D, or leave the tavern and return to the city square, 33C. Yeah, so we were here last time. What we did last time, well, we did the one-armed bandit, we did the arm wrestling, we did not do poker, we did drinking, and fought some orcs as part of that. It's possible we could drink and not fight the orcs. Leaving the tavern would take me back to the starting paragraph. Oh, maybe we should play some poker with some toughs in the back room since we didn't do that before. 20A. In the back room, there is a poker game going on. It will cost you 100 gold pieces to get in the game. I don't have that. If you don't have the money, they toss you back into the main room, 32A. Okay, fine, jerks. Jerks. So we're not doing that. Well, should we go, let's go drink at the bar again. Maybe there's something to do besides beat up orcs there. 6D. So we're gonna go drink. Beating up the orcs might be fun though. $6D. At the bar are 2 orcs. They have had a few. They are making comments about you. They say that your roots would doubtlessly lead you to a kennel. Aldana says you did good last time when you defeated the arm wrestler and got some treasure item, but already forgot what it was, unfortunately. I forgot what it was too. Let me check my Gonzalez character sheet. Oh, I got a ruby worth 100 gold that warns you of orcs. Warns you of orcs. That's fine. Anyway, if you'd like to fight them, go to 50A. If you wish to hit them with an go away spell, I'm not a wizard, unfortunately. If you wish to ignore them and finish your drink, go to 15. All right, so last time I fought them, let's be the better man and ignore them this time. Which probably isn't going to go well. That's what I say about everything. I just have this feeling about this author. He's like devious. He wants to kill you. Mike Stackpole. He's admitted that on Twitter. I showed that last time, where he specifically tweeted a reply to me saying that he wrote this, or he wrote all of his adventures back then with, how can I come up with creative ways to kill the player character? That was like his main goal in his writing. I mean, he's probably saying it with some degree of facetiousness, but he liked doing that. Anyway, bad choice. Obviously, you did not see the orcs put that Mickey in your drink. Oh my god. Have your current con and fight them now. Are you kidding me? They have combined monster rating of 80. If you win, go to 2. Alright, shit. Alright, I'm fighting the 2 orcs. I'm gonna die again. Alright, we might need some cleverness again. Orcs. I know I got roofied by orcs. What the hell? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the phrase Mickey, but I guess it means roofie. Sorry, I got this cable getting in the way here. Let me see what I can do about that. Elaborate setup just to play some tunnels and trolls. There we go. Uh-oh. Shit. What's happening? The cable didn't like that twist I gave it. Oh, man. break the cable. Okay, I'm going to fiddle with this for a little longer, and if not, I will wing it with my other camera. Can I refresh connection here or something? Oh, man. Okay. It's loading. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, this is what Brumley Jr. is gonna see during this battle. Yeah, I'm gonna wing it with my other camera. So we have no overhead camera anymore. So I will just do this. Yeah, so the orcs have MR 80, and for those not familiar with this system, the way MR works is it indicates how many dice plus adds are rolled by that monster or whatever it is, whatever opponent. The way it works is chop off the last digit, add 1 to this roll. That's the number of dice they roll. So they roll 9 dice, and the number of adds are half the MR, 40. And the MR itself is the Constitution, so they have like 80 con essentially. So they roll 9 dice plus 40, and that's not looking great for me. I'm going to get killed again. Because I have my 9 dice from my heavy warhammer and sledgehammer, but I only add 23, so yeah. That's TNT for you. You have to be really stronger than the enemies, and then it's kind of like very much like one combatant dominates the other, but spite damage might get through. So that's how you lose if you're a powerful guy. The spite damage accumulates. But unfortunately, I'm not as good at combat as my last guy was. I just have a lot more constitution though. Anyway, let's roll it out anyway. Let's see what maybe we'll get a miracle. I don't know. Getting my 9 dice together. We each get 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine. Did the overhead camera come back? It did not. Okay, I'm going to roll for myself first. All right. At least we're getting some spite damage in. I guess each 6 counts as a spite, which is damage that gets through even if you lose the battle, essentially. So you got 10. That's actually not a bad roll, though. 20, 30, 36, plus my 23 is 59. But they're going to roll their 9 dice and add 40. I like to use different colored dice for the opponents, just for the fun of it. Okay, how many spite did I say I rolled? 4, was it? Or 3? Well, whatever the case is, I forgot to. Oh, it's right here, basically. So I guess it's just 2 spite. Right, 2 in parentheses. All right, so they rolled, unfortunately, pretty well. 2, 10, 19, 25. Yeah. 30, 39. Plus their adds of 40, which is 79. All right, so I do 2 damage for them out of spite, but I take reduces their adds. You don't knock off the dice, so that you keep the original number of dice. That's an update in recent editions because people found that the MR was too much of a what they called like a death spiral, which I kind of like the simplicity of it though. It would always be like the MR is the Constitution, and it would determine dice plus adds based on that solely. But now you have to keep track of like the original dice, but the adds change. Anyway, I don't know if you follow that. Anyway, I take 20 damage, which is it's quite a hurting. My armor subtracts 8. I mean, I could try to amplify that, double it with my special warrior power. I don't. I kind of just want to give up though. I don't see a point in continuing. Unless I wanted to make up some fancy saving roll. Which I feel like if I do too much, it's a little bit cheesy. Alright, should we call this character done, maybe? I'm going to call him done. And let's roll up a new one. But yeah, where the hell did all my cards go? I'll just have to draw a new one. Alright, bear with me a second. Intermission time. I don't know where all my cards went. I had a whole stack of them. Gee. Okay. Can I stick them in the book, maybe? All right, whatever. Let's scroll one out on the fly. I always use my deluxe character sheet. It's kind of a waste for a character's gonna die probably though. All right, we're doing that. Eric is off for the night. All right, thanks for joining, Eric. Oh, I found one. Yay. See you, Eric. I'll see you probably next Thursday, I would imagine, but we'll see where the channel takes us. And thanks for joining as always, Eric. I appreciate it. All right, we got a new character card. Now let's roll up a new character. Let's do the same system as before. And you can see it's a challenging adventure. It's very dangerous. And imagine if you really spent like, 10 hours leveling up your character to the point where I had that guy who was level 5. That probably would have taken maybe even like, I forgot to add my 5 dice for being a warrior. Oh. Shall we turn back time and do it? Let's do it. I forgot to add my 5 dice for being a warrior. This is my biggest problem with this game, is I always forget these special additions and things like that. I think we have a chance then. All right, 5 extra dice. He's back in business. He hasn't given up yet. Brumley the Hammer. So we were down by 20. So essentially, if I can roll 20 or higher on 5 dice, I'm back in business. They rolled a few spite. I kind of forgot how much, so I'm probably going to take spite damage. But I did not roll 20, it looks like, unfortunately. So I got 15. So they beat me by 5. Okay. So with that, my armor actually soaked up all the hits, except they did roll some spite. So the spite always gets through. I don't remember how many they rolled though. I'm gonna say they got 2. So my constitution is down to 48. And I know I got 2 on them. So I already deducted that. All right, so second wind for Brumley the Dwarf. Brumley the Hammer, who remembered he can fight. Wait a minute, I know how to fight. I forgot about that. Okay, so that means we're rolling how many dice altogether? 14. If you think that's ridiculous, it's because it is. 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe I should try out another rule I was thinking about. I'm going to try it right now. The rule is to kind of reduce the number of dice you roll just by a little bit. And there's a lot of different rules people apply here. Some of them kind of vastly skew the math, though. So I was thinking about a way to manage the high number of dice situation without skewing the math hugely. But it only manages the dice situation to a lesser degree, I guess. And that is, say you have 10, say you roll 14 dice, which I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You keep rolling 10 dice as your single dice. Then you replace every pair of dice with a different colored one, and you just double the effect of each of those. So you have these double dice as well as a single dice. So I'm at that point where I can play with this experimental rule that I've had in mind for a while. And if they have roll a 6 for spite, I'll count that as twice, as double as well. So does it manage it hugely? No, but also it's kind of a little bit fun. I feel like because you get to have some special dice. Brumley lives, says Dice Tales. Yeah, of course those special dice did not roll very well. They rolled as badly as they could. However, look at the single dice. They rolled quite good. Dandaman says Brumley is an undead dwarf warrior rapper. All right, so 10. This is crazy. Number of dice you roll in this game is crazy for one thing. 10, 20. I'm gonna take off this wrist brace. I don't really need it. I have some kind of pain in my wrist sometimes that the pressure on the brace helps manage, but I don't really need it right now. It's kind of in the way. All right. So anyway, 20. These counted double, so these are 4, I guess. So 30, 35. Sorry, I think I miscounted. Let's go again. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 46. Okay, I got 46 plus my adds of 23, which is 69, dude. And my bite damage is 4, which is nice. So 4 damage is going to get through no matter what. Now the orcs come with their 9 dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Basilrama. Okay, they rolled fairly low. That's good. Maybe I'll get in some good hits. 10, 15, 20, 27, plus their adds of 39. That means that's a 66, I believe, right? Yes, they got a 66. All right, so they did 1 spite damage, but I beat them by 3. And the way spite works is that's the minimum damage you deal, right? So because I beat them by 3, the spite kind of kicks in. I do 4 damage instead, if that makes sense at all. So they're down to 74 MR, which therefore reduces their adds a little bit more, which is now a lot of little math in this game. The math that is involved is simple, but there's a lot of it. In other words, you're not doing calculus here or anything. But anyway, half of the 74 is 37. So we're whittling them down a little bit at a time. But they got 1 spite damage on me, so I am down to 47 con. Okay. Another round. Good thing I'm a warrior. Well, look, we got our double die as a 6. That's pretty nice. All right, so 10, 20, 30. Hold on, did I count my... let me start over. This double dice thing I have to get used to. All right, 10, 20, 30. Now this is actually 20, so 50, 51, plus my adds of 23, which is 74, and 3 spite. So 74 and 3 spite. Orcish losers make their roll. Sorry, I'm off camera. Hey, they rolled bad again. No spite this time. Nice. 10, 20, 24. Plus their adds of 37. Take that to a 61. Sweet. I did a whopping 13 damage and took no spite. So they're down to MR of 61, which knocks down their adds to half of 61. Round up is 31. This is suddenly becoming a war of attrition that I think is going to work out in my favor. With my high level of constitution, I don't have to worry too much about the spite that they accumulate against me. Okay, not a great roll there, but all right. 10, 20, 30, 37. We're counting this double. 41, 42. 42 plus 23 is 65. Not the greatest roll, but I got 2 spite. Again, they're adding 31 to this roll. They got a lot of spite. That's too bad. 10, 20, 32, 39 plus their 31 is a, I believe it's a 70. Unfortunately, they beat me and they got 3 spite. But my armor soaks the difference, but the 3 spite gets through essentially. And I do 2 spite to them. So I take 3, they take 2. 44 con for me. Yeah, this is gonna be a grind of a battle, but I feel like I'm still gonna win it. It's just it's about how beat up am I gonna be by the end. Yeah, I see 6s all the way. Okay, we'll put a 10 here. 20. Okay, let's say 32, 35, 38, and this is double. So 38 plus 16 becomes 54, if I got that correct. 54 and 5 spite. And also adding my ads. So much math. I keep saying it. 70. I think I got a 77 and a 5 spite. That's pretty good. I don't see them beating me on that one. Forgot to adjust their ads. They're down to 30 ads. Now there was an app game for this. I think the company folded though. It might still exist, but it's kind of ridiculous when you you have to enjoy this part of combat. It can sometimes be a little tiring, but in the app version, it's just like you just see a bunch of dice flags and then it adds it for you. It's kind of like, oh, just tell me who won, I guess. Like, what's the point of that? Like, the whole screen just fills up with dice. Oh, wow. A lot of 6s for them. Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, here's a 10. 20. 28. 34. 40. Plus their ads of 30 is a 70. And they got 3 spite. So I beat them by 7, and therefore I deal 7 damage, but they got 3 spite into me. Down to 52 MR. Therefore, their ads become 26. Yes, it's getting better and better. But I take the 3 damage, knocking my constitution down to 41. Maybe I should write my con on here so I'm not erasing it as much on my character sheet. Then I can just update it once at the end. All right. Sally forth. Sally forth. The double dice didn't roll well. 10, 20, 30, 40, and this is 8, 48, 3 spite, plus 23 becomes 71, 3 spite. Just give up, you orcs. $10, 20, 25, 28, plus their current ads of 26 is merely 54, but with their 1 spite. Did I add that right? I guess that's right. 54. They rolled 10, 20, 28. Yeah. Good. This should be a solid hit. So I dealt 17 damage, and they got 1 spite of damage on me. That takes them down to 35, and their ads are half of that, which is 18, right? Yeah. Rounding up all the time. All right. I should use the digging lemming, says Stu. Yeah, let's do that. Dig a hole under the orcs. All right, so this should wrap up in a couple of rounds, I think. It's a grind of a combat here, but I think we're gonna make it happen. Oh, not the best rolls there, but okay. How's it going, Stu? What are you streaming lately? 10, 20, bunch of crap too. Okay, no, not your stream. I mean, my rolls are a bunch of crap. 30, 32, and I'm counting these ones as double for anyone who might not be aware. 32 plus 14 becomes 46. And with my ad, that's a 69, dude. These aren't lined up very well anymore. Start over 69. Let's see what they can roll. Oh, a lot of spite. 10, 20, 30, 38, 38, 2 spite. And my pencil's on the floor. 38 and 18 is 56. So I beat them by 13, knocking their MR down to 22. And I take 2 spite damage, knocking my con to 38. Their new ads are 11. They're going down soon. My chicken scratch is horrible. Stu says, haven't streamed since last weekend. Very busy with work. Sadly, was just on the TRS 80 Trash Talk Live thing. What is the Trash Talk Live thingy? And who wants to trash talk about the TRS 80? I don't understand. Yeah, I might kill them this round. Let's see if I can do it. One thing that would be cool if T&D had more decisions you could make in the combat. I've been thinking of option rules for that too. There is a certain berserk mode you can get into that lets you roll the dice differently. I thought maybe it would be cool to have a bunch of different kinds of modes though. The berserk essentially lets you add and re-roll all your duplicate dice, but you lose your ads. That's berserk essentially. And there's a bunch of weird rules though. Like you can't be too smart. I think I'm too smart to go berserk. I think you have to have IQ of like less than 10 or something like that. It's kind of funny. Okay, I just lost a die. And Stu says that a lot of people call it the Trash 80. So a bunch of people do like a live podcast called TRS 80 Trash Talk, and I join when I can. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I never played with a TRS 80. I should try sometime. Could emulate it or something. Yeah, hopefully the last round or maybe second to last. Let's see what happens. Ooh, some good sixes. 10, 20, 30, 40. This is going pretty well. 42, 45, and these are double. 45 plus 18 is 63. Is that right? Did I really roll that much? Wow. Plus my ads of 23 is 86. That's my best roll yet with 3 spite if it matters. I don't think I think they're definitely dead. It's a matter of how much spite do they get in against me before I die. So they're rolling their 9 dice plus 11. And it looks like they got 2 spite, but let's do the formalities anyway. 10, 20, 28, 31 plus 11. Give them a total of 42 with their 2 spite. Yeah, that's a solid amount of damage difference by my math. Is 44. Those orcs are done, but they do get an extra 2 Despite to me taking me down to 36 con. So I am glad that I really buffed my con tremendously with this character. 36 is where we're at. And whew, what a what a grind that one was. But let's it's a good thing I remembered the warrior rule, right? All right, so what the hell paragraph was I at? I lost my page. I think it started with 6D to go to the bar. Ignored them. Finish my drink, 15E. Oh, it said have your current con. That's right. I was supposed to have my current con because they're freaking poison. They roofied my drink. So what's my real con then? I don't even know. What did I have before the fight? I'm just gonna say I lost 15 constitution. I'm giving myself a bonus. I'm at 21 now. It's probably more than that. I'll say I have 20. Wow. Yeah, that was a battle. I beat him though. So that should be 80 adventure points by default for being MR80. Unless it tells me I gain anything special. But yeah, I killed those orcs. Yeah, the orcs. What's happening here? Getting it on with a vampire, I think. Then you realize she's a vampire. Or maybe she just smells bad. You're kind of creeping away. Oh, hello, Matthew. Kirkhard is in the house. Hello, Matthew. He says, my cousin had a TRS-80, and I remember him saving his programs onto a cassette tape. It took like 2 hours to save a small program. Yeah, I had a cassette tape for Atari 8-bit, like the Atari 800, Atari 400. And yeah, that was slow. I never had one for Commodore, which is another computer I had. I just didn't have the cassette tape. I think by then, you know, floppy disks were the mainstream option, so we had that for Commodore. Star Raiders is a great game. I like it a lot. I revisit it, you know, occasionally. Anyway, 2A. From their bodies, you get a pouch of stuff they put into your drink. You recognize it as wombat venom. Huh. You know it when a weapon is coated with it. It will immobilize a man-sized foe for 1 combat turn if you can get 5 hits on him. Okay, he will stay immobilized for that combat turn in which you got the 5 hits on him. All right, and also for 1 additional combat turn for every 2 hits. Or just make it a simple rule. Come on. All right, I'm gonna. I don't know if I can use wombat venom on a blunt weapon I have, so I'm gonna just take note of it and say C2A of City of Terrors. Wombat venom. You know, sometimes it's not worth making rules this complex. Just say, you know, immobilize it in 1 turn. Anyway, Matt Kirkhart says, hi there. So much fun watching you play this module. Great. I'm glad you're having fun watching. And he adds, I lost so many characters in this. So you and me both. That's why I'm doing my cheating rule where I roll up an advanced character from the get-go. And also I try to play a little bit fast and loose with the rules. Well, it's not, you know, not trying to be too cheesy though. A lot of times it's something like I just don't want to re-roll a whole new character, so I bend the rules a little bit. Commodore cassette tapes are only common in the UK, not the US, says Stu. Okay, in the UK they're very common. It was like weird. The 8-bit computer scene in the UK was very different from here in the US. Like even like as far as which computers were popular. You know, like I go to sometimes I visit Sometimes I watch this guy named Mainmeister. He's Scottish. He like plays, you know, computers from his youth, and I'm like, I never saw this BBC Micro before, or the ZX Spectrum or whatever. Like, those are things I never had back in the day. I never even heard of those ones. I mean, now I've definitely heard of ZX Spectrum and whatnot, but you know, the internet age. So you know, of course, I can hear of all these things. Anyway, all right, I'm going back to 33C, which is the city square. BBC Micro, yeah, didn't like the government make those for schools or something, or did they just purchase them for schools, I guess? All right, we're back at the city square, and once again we can explore the dark way east. That's 40C. The wilderness by going south to 48B. To the north, the rogue route. I'm not going to that Black Dragon Tavern again. Screw that place. For those of you with a religious bent, you find your interest lie to the west on the Ranger Road 33A. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go the one way I haven't gone yet, which is Wilderness South at 48B. Stu says BBC Micro was an Acorn computer, but they had a contract with the government. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Where am I going? 48B. So we're actually going into the wilderness. So we're leaving the city, I suppose. We go to a city just to leave it. I'm like, I've had enough of this place. It's like, it's horrible. Oh, that's why they call it the City of Terrors. Here's Panthro or something. And these guys look like a trio of pirate clones. They're all exactly the same. They even lost the same eye. They couldn't even like lose different eyes. You know what? Oh, this is why. I'm not here, but it's about something about you look at yourself in 2 mirrors. So that's supposed to be you. There's like 2 clones of you or something. Anyway, I won't spoil that too much. Dan the Man says no, he's not a vampire. This guy never actually died. I made a couple, took a couple liberties with saving rolls and stuff, and I became the ogre chieftain, and it said I'm not allowing this solo anymore because they don't like ogre chieftains here. But I decided to bend that rule and ignore that. And when I thought I was dead earlier, I realized I had forgotten to add my warrior bonus of 5 dice to the roll, and that made all the difference. Anyway, 48B. This is the intersection of the Wilderness Road and Peril Street. Peril Street, huh? All right, Wilderness Road and Peril Street. You go along east a couple of blocks, and that runs into Horror Road. Take Horror Road to Terror Avenue to holy shit, this is hard Boulevard. Oh, we're at an intersection. When it says a magical word, you're at an intersection. That means it's time to draw a random character from the deck. Now, before, by the way, for those who just joined us, I had my usual setup with the overhead camera, but the camera died, so I have to improvise with just this one camera on my stand. All right, I'm going to pick a card, any card. Stu says, I suggest not going on Peril Street. I got to go on Peril Street. I got to see what's there. All right, here's the wandering person I find. It is Marduk, the medic. Just who I needed. Last game, I was desperately trying to fish for him in the deck because I really wanted him. I was really low in Constitution. So Marduk, the medic, he replenishes 2 Constitution points for you per meeting. Oh, you can't like double it or like, multiply it, I guess. All right, it's only 2 Constitution. Pay him 10 gold pieces for your services. All right, I guess I'll do that. It's worth it. So I'm down to 62 gold, and I have 22 con. Now he is of type MF, which, if I recall correctly, is monster fodder. Now you can look in the back to see what those codes mean for each type of wandering person. Here's all the wandering people, by the way, in one scene. We went over this last time, so I won't read all the dialogue and everything. What does MF mean? It means monster fodder. What does it actually do, though? Monster fodder. These are characters that go around unarmed and are worth about 25 experience points or adventure points to anyone who kills them. All right, so if I wanted to, I could kill him. I guess I would just roll as if he had no weapons, I suppose, and I would probably pretty much auto kill him, but then I wouldn't have Marduk the medic in the deck anymore. I assume that's how it works. And he's nice. He heals you a little bit. I wish you could multiply it, like every 10 gold pieces would heal 2 Constitution or something like that. Anyway, to go to the east, Peril Street will take you to 36B. West, head for 27E. The Wilderness Road runs north to 33C and south to 15D. To the southeast, there is a path that runs off into the brush. It goes to 4D. Well, any thoughts, guys, where I should go? Should I check out this path in the brush? That totally won't lead to a guy who ambushes me. Or Peril Street. I could keep going on Wilderness Road. So Wilderness Road, if I go north to 33rd Street, that's back to the town square. So if I want to take that, I probably want to go south. Let's check out the path that runs off into the brush. 4D. Go to Gordon Street, says Stu. No, there's no Gordon Street. Sesame Street, though. And Gordon lives on Sesame Street. Let's go to 4D. Path that runs to the brush. Let me scroll that on my map real quick. Okay, on my map, the brush takes you to this guy who's apparently Skikor the healer. But let me read the paragraph. Let's check out this picture real quick for the fun of it. All right. This is the home of Skikor or Sikor. Let's go with Sikor. Sikor the healer. He heals the Sikor. One of Sikor's aides comes to you and decides if you need to be seen right away. Okay, if you have lost a hand in this trip, go to 43A. And I haven't lost a hand. Any other problems or injuries will be seen in the clinic, go to 16C. If you have no needs for the healer services at this time, go to 47E. Dan says that's the healer we're looking for last game. Yeah, we were looking for the medic last time, and we found him this time. He only restores 2 con, though, which is a little disappointing. But it's something. I'll take it. I guess he's supposed to not be like a magical healer. He just kind of bandages you up a little bit. And Matthew says the art in the TNT modules is just so good. I agree, especially I'm a big fan of Liz Danforth, who actually drew this particular picture. In fact, I am such a fan. I ordered from her Patreon a couple of like postcard. There's a couple more I have, but they lost the tape I had lost their stick. But these are like postcard arts. Whatever you call it, like, you know, postcard size artwork that she was selling for like $5 each or something. So I bought a couple. This one is an Ent from Middle Earth looking for his mate, and this is the cover of the Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls manual. That's right, Dan the Man. I did keep trying to draw from the deck to find the healer, and I failed. Oh, here's another one I have. Yeah, this is one of the ones that lost its stickiness. This is called Front Gate, which is an old one that she did, and it's actually in the deluxe manual too, but it was never colorized, so I think she colorized it. The Front Gate. This is like in the inside cover, but not. It's in black and white in the deluxe manual. Here we have a fairy, by the way, and an elf who is very blue. Yeah, cool stuff. Okay. Anyway, we are at Sikor the healer. Yeah, let's go to the clinic, 16C. This might be the one who performs horrible surgeries on you, and you wind up with, like, I don't know, a rat nose or something like that, which is fun. It's fun in TNT, all the crazy mutation and stuff you can get. Maybe this is not it. Okay. 16C. You are given a mysterious fluid that pumps your constitution to full strength. Okay. It also counters any poison in your system. The bill comes to 1,000 gold pieces. If you don't have that much with you, he'll bill you later. Okay, and he has a notorious collection agency. When you finally get 1,000 gold pieces, be sure to send it to this man. I think the idea is I have to, as soon as I get 1,000, I just instantly lose it because of his his collectors will be pouncing upon me. Matthew says the picture he did in the summoning is the back of the 5th edition D&T rulebook. Maybe my favorite piece of fantasy RPG art ever. You know what? I actually agree, and it might sound like I am just like BSing to be agreeable or something, but I have literally told her that on Facebook that's like my favorite piece of art, the summoning one. I wish I could pull it up though, like the evidence that I have, the proof that I have that I've said that. Anyway, Stu said that's pretty stupid. If it's worth anything close to 1,000 gold pieces, this guy must lose tons of money in this business. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm even going to remember that. But anyway, nonetheless, I am giving myself a full 50 constitution. I guess if I find that magic ruby worth 1,000, I guess I'll just cross it off. I'm not going to stress it, but if I do remember it, I'll try to play it legit. I just don't feel like scrawling special notes on my character sheet and whatnot. 47E. All right, we're back at somewhere else. We're back at the intersection of Wilderness Road and Peril Street. Excuse me, I just need some water. Stu says I don't care how good his collections are, you can't collect from dead people. Okay. Anyway. To go east, Peril Street runs to 36B. West, it goes to 27E. Wilderness Road runs north. That's back to the City Square 33C, or south to 15E. I'm going on Peril Street despite Stu's objections earlier. Ugh. Talking for a long time can be rough. I remember teachers in school would be like, sometimes they say, I've been talking for 3 hours now, and, so I need a break, so I'm just going to give you kids some busy work to do. They didn't use the phrase busy work, but to me, I was like, come on, how can it be so hard speaking for a few hours? And I get it now that I stream. Once I'm up to hour 3 or so, it can be a little rough. Anyway, let's go to Peril Street. Should we go east or west on Peril Street? I'll go west on Peril Street. That will take me to 36B. This is we're getting into the bra size section of the City of Terror. 36B. Oh, 36B east? Is that what it said? Fine, I went east then. Let me just rewind to be sure. Although you're probably right, Stu. It sounds like the kind of error I would make. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, you're right. 36B is the east one. All right, sorry about that. That doesn't matter. It's an arbitrary choice. But it's good to know for my mapping purposes for sure. Okay. This is the intersection, which means... Oh, was it... The last one was an intersection too, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I needed to draw a random person. All right, so for the last intersection, I will draw a random person, and then for this one as well, which is 2 random people. Sorry, too much Sesame Street with my daughter. I don't remember if you're supposed to put the wandering person at the bottom of the deck, but I kind of like the idea of just shuffling it all up every time. That way I can possibly find that medic dude again. He wouldn't be at the bottom of the deck. So here I am shuffling it up. All right, so I'm going to draw 2 people. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. The first one is Jokar the Small. CA. What is CA? I have to look up what that means. Jokar is small, wiry, and speaks with a lisp. Roll 2 dice. If you roll doubles, he thinks you're laughing at him. He has a combat adds 12, fights with a bec de combat. Wears mail and uses a tower shield. He's worth 25 experience points. It's always weird to me how they, in Intelligent Trolls Adventure, they don't always use consistent nomenclature with the system. Like the system says they're called adventure points, and yet sometimes they'll just call them experience points in the adventure. Anyway, that's fine though. Okay, so what does CA mean though? Let me see what that means. I mean, I feel like they kind of already explained what you're supposed to do with it. But CA is conditional attack. Okay, mostly good people, they will attack if provoked. Okay, so if he thinks I'm laughing at him, he will attack me. And so let's pick some new colored dice for the heck of it. I got these dice recently. I call them my slime dice. My slime dice will be used for this particular saving roll. Stu said maybe he shouldn't call himself Joker the Small if he doesn't want people to laugh at him. Maybe somebody else gave him the name Joker, or at least the small part. What do you call it? The not the epitaph, the epithet. Is that what you call it? Epithet. All right. Got my slime dice in hand. Now what if I roll doubles? Two dice. I roll doubles. He thinks I'm laughing at him. Okay. Doubles. He thinks I'm laughing at him. All right, now I got to kill this loser. All right, so what did he roll? 6 dice with his Bec de Corbin. Why do they keep mentioning Bec de Corbin? That's a weird one. Let's pull up what a Bec de Corbin even looks like. I don't think most people have an intuitive idea of what that even is. So it is a French polearm. All right, it looks like how am I going to show this nicely? Well, you can just Google it yourself. It is a polearm that has like a pointy dagger-like tip, as well as kind of like a beak. So it's like you can thrust with it or swing it like a kind of like a hammerish, but it's sharp. Matthew says, "Isn't that a two-handed weapon? How is he using a shield?" That's a good point. Is it officially two-handed in this game? Let's find out. I'm just curious. I don't think they listed in the polearm section anymore, but they're well, the way it works in DT&T is some of them are, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Some of them are marked as optionally used with 2 hands. In other words, this single diamond means you can optionally use it with 2 hands. 2 diamonds means it's two-handed. And so I guess maybe if it's in one of these 2 categories, such as medium polearms, you can optionally use it with 1 hand. Dice Tail says people laugh at him because he has 3 arms, actually. Yeah, there you go. Not because he's small, but because he has 3 arms. Anyway, I'm finding this Joker loser. Okay. Let's make this happen. What was that character from Xena? Joxer the Magnificent? What's the name Joker in my... He was kind of a big dork who tried to be a brave adventurer, but he was a big loser, and Xena would embarrass him at every turn or something. Played by Ted Raimi, if I recall correctly. Anyway, I don't have much scrap paper left. I need a new piece. But I'll cram in Joxer over here in the corner. Not Joxer, Joker. Joker. Essentially, he's well, 6 dice plus 12. Yeah, I'm going to cream him. He does take a lot of armor, though. He has 17 armor. That means he's going to soak up 17 hits each combat round, except my spite damage will still get through. And he has con of 7. All right, let's roll it out. So we got Joker. Hopefully it doesn't take a lot of rounds like that orc battle. All right. You can be the slime dice, and I will roll my blue dice plus my fiery double dice. Let me roll 6 dice. Yeah. Yeah, he just might get some spite damage in on me. That's his problem. Joxar was his name. All right. Joxar. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't remember the name. I thought it was like Jockster or something. Anyway, Joxer. But this guy is Joker. So let's roll Jokers first, since I happen to have his slimy dice in hand. 6 dice plus 12. You got 1 spite on me. All right, so I'm gonna count with the adds in mind. Maybe I should do that going forward. So starting with 12, he has a 20, 29, and 1 spite, which is not gonna do much to me. The 1 spite will be a little bit annoying, but I should totally annihilate him. So I'm starting with 23 for my adds, plus all of this madness. All right, so we got 23, 33, 43, 53, 59. These are double dice. I think it's an 81. 22 plus 59. 81. That might be a lot better than any of the rolls I made against the orcs. Maybe I got my math wrong, but I don't care. I'm going to go with it. It looks like I beat him by a good 52. Minus 17 for his armor. It just doesn't matter. So I killed him, totally annihilated him, but he did get 1 spite damage in on me. And I'm losing my shit here. Losing my stuff. Where's my character? My character took a dive on the side. He was trying to let Jokar beat him. All right, I took 1 con damage basically, and he gave me 25 adventure points. So I have 177. Sorry about the horrible camera work right now. Wasn't anticipating my overhead camera to just go kaput on me. All right, can I take his mail or something? Do I want to? He has some really good mail. It absorbs 11 hits. I'm just going to leave it, though. I'm going to say I annihilated him too hard that the armor was not salvageable. All right, so I'm going to take Jokar out of the deck because he's dead. Fun thing about this deck is, you're supposed to kind of keep it, like for your gaming group who's all playing the same solo. The deck can change. You can like have a guy get killed by the vampire character, and you add your own guy to the deck in vampire form, and then your friends play the same game, and they could find your vampirized character. It's a lot of fun. So we used to play, me and mostly my brother and a couple of friends would come over to play TNT sometimes. So we would like run into each other's vampire characters and whatnot. There might be other ways you can get in the deck too. I don't remember. Yeah. So we're still alive. Killing Jokar. I have to get a second drawing from the deck, though, if I recall. That's what I said. So let's draw another one. This one. Oh, not the vampire. Speaking of the devil. He's not that strong, though. I mean, he is if you're like level 1 or something. Zarg the vampire. AA means always attack. He just always attacks you. Zarg has 27 combat adds and gets 3 dice in a fight. Yeah, he's no sweat. He's immune to poison, for what it's worth. Excuse me, any player killed in a fight, killed by him, becomes a vampire. Multiply strength by 5 halves, luck and IQ by 3 halves. The character should now be put in the wandering person pile, as he is subservient to Zarg. Zarg, if killed, is worth 52 experience points. All right, so this guy should be no problem also. I didn't really want to kill you, Jokar. I mean, you kind of gave me a little recourse. Zarg. 3 dice. He's basically about equal to the other guy, I would roughly estimate, being 3 dice plus 27. He has no armor, though. All right. So let's bash his skull. I guess you don't need a wooden stake on this particular vampire. Me and... what was I writing them on the left, usually? Zarg versus me. Okay. Zarg, we need some creepy looking dice for Zarg the vampire. I do have some what I was calling vampire dice, but I had them in a pouch on my shelf. I'm not gonna go search for them. They kind of have like blood red with like a blackish gray marble background. It's perfect for fighting vampires. But we're gonna use the slime dice for him. All right, slime dice. So he rolls 3 dice plus 27. So he starts with 27. And he rolled pretty crappy. No spite, which is nice. So that's 27, 30. 37 is his total. This should be total annihilation. Okay, I rolled not great, but I should still totally annihilate him. Starting with 23, so 30. These are a double. So that's a 12 plus 30 is 42. Did I count that one? I don't know. 45. Doesn't really matter. 50, 55, 60, 67 is my roll. So I beat him by 20. What did I say? 63? Anyway, I beat him by enough that it doesn't really matter. Here's what I'm writing down. I think I said 60. Even if it was only 60, still beat him by 23 and destroyed him. All right, so I get 52 adventure points from him. That's 229. And hey, I could actually spend those on something, perhaps. Do I want to keep Zarg out of the deck? Yeah, I guess I'll take him out. I'm wondering maybe because I didn't stake him, maybe he'll return to the deck or something. Yeah, let's spend my points on something. So the way the adventure points work is you take one of your attributes and you can upgrade it at the cost of the current attribute plus times 10. So if I want to upgrade my IQ, it'll cost 130. Let's bump I kind of like having good ads. Ads are so important in this game. Anything that can add to my ads is good. So let's give myself a luck point. At the cost of 150, taking my adventure points down to 79, I believe. And my ads go up by 1. Woohoo! Okay. So, after all that, I think I was on this paragraph. 36B. Yeah, that's where we were. I was joking about this is the bra size page. This is the intersection of the Range C Road and Peril Street. To the east is your ship, 38D. Now I will not leave to my ship. To the north, the Range C Road will take you to 35C. Okay. You may take Peril Street west to 48B from here. That's where I was, I think. You may take Peril Street with, or you can go south along the Range C Road to 40B. Okay, I kind of see where this intersects. From before, I found the Range C Road here when I went along Dark Way past the Catwoman. So really, it's more like I'm over here now. So I really have to extend this quite a bit. The Peril Street. Did it say I can go east, or was that my ship? This is my ship. You can also meet the ship, go to your ship from the city square somehow. So I don't know. The geography doesn't make total sense. All right, Dice is out. Thanks, Dice Tales, for joining. I appreciate it. All right, so yeah, I guess I don't know. I can go south and Range C Road. North would take me to that intersection past the cat lady. Let's go south because that's new. 40B. I feel like I'm actually starting to explore the city. Look at this guy. He looks like the leader from what is he? He's one of the Hulk's villains or something. Anyway, that's not where I'm at. 40B. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, this is fun. I think I'm dead now. No, I think I'm dead at everything I encounter. You find yourself in front of a little sideshow. There is a barker out front. I don't really know the term, but I guess it's the guy who's announcing things. And you pause to listen to what he has to say. A gem worth 1,000 gold pieces to any man or woman who can defeat the Netmaster, he cries. This is a game only for those who are brave. The weak of heart need not try, for surely they will perish. If you want the gem, yeah, I owe the healer 1,000, so I better do this. If you want the gem and are willing to fight for it, go to 11E. If you aren't interested, go to 36B. All right, I'm doing it. I'm gonna fight the Netmaster at 11E. That's my better judgment. I don't know what's happening here exactly. Are these ogres? Looks like this is supposed to be your character killing an ogre, and his friend is really upset over it. 11E. You are conducted into a large amphitheater. You see the floor is a large net made out of stout cord. Beneath the net, about 15 feet down, are a large number of very sharp, poison-tainted spikes. From a doorway across from you comes the net master. He is armed with a heavy flail and a sax. He's the sax man. His attributes are strength 25, IQ 20, luck, oh, good lord, luck 25, con 20, dex 40, and charisma 15. He rolls 5 dice and has 63 combat adds, including the weapons, and no poison is allowed. If your dex is 12 or less, mine is not, he gets double hits on you. If your dex is 13 to 29, that's the case, right? Yeah, I'm at dexterity 19. You get half hits on him. Figure hits and divide by 2. If you have dex of 30 or more, you fight on even terms. If your dex is less than 30, you have the option of cutting the net cords. You must have a blade weapon to do this. I might need to do that. If you choose this option and go to 14. See, I have those butcher knives, so I can do that. All right. So he's gonna own me if I don't cut the cords, but I think that's like considered cheating, and the crowd gets mad at you or something like that, or they boo you. But he has a lot of ads there, 63. So I would be getting a lot more dice than him. But I only add 24. It's my 14 dice plus 24 versus his. I actually have it, right? I have to have my number. Ugh. Yeah, there's no hope with the having because I don't have enough dexterity. Yeah, the having is gonna absolutely murder my rolls. Okay, so we're not doing that. We're gonna cut the cord. Yeah, it's not gonna go well, but I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna pull out one of my butcher knife and start cutting the cord. And I guess supposedly a strategic location so that he falls to his doom and not myself. All right, let's do it. 14C. See, it's kind of crazy how the range of power level of things in this particular adventure are. There's some that are so wimpy, like Zarg the Vampire sounds like he should be fearsome, but he's kind of a pushover. Then you fight this guy, like, whew. The Netmaster is not to be messed with. Here he is, by the way. I suppose that's him. There's the spikes underneath. He's got his flail and his sax, which is a large knife. He's very wrinkly because he's drawn by Rob Carver. Very hairy too. And this is what we're fighting on. So we're fighting on this net above the spikes, and this is the crowd. Is that guy picking his nose or giving me the finger? I think he's doing both. No, that's his ring finger. He's picking his nose with his ring finger. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. You managed to cut one of the net's supporting cords, weakening the stability of the whole thing. From now on, make a level 3 saving roll on luck for the net master each combat turn. If he... Okay, so he... Well, it said it was... Okay, his luck is on a different page. I couldn't just repeat it here. Say refer to 11E to see the net master's luck ability. It would take fewer characters to repeat what his luck is. Anyway, I wanted to pick that. If he misses it, he falls through and dies on the spikes. You must also make a level 3 saving roll on either luck or dexterity or a talent like acrobatics. See if you fall through. Okay. Do I have any talent I can rationalize as being applicable here? Blacksmith, armorer, bargaining, singing, streetwise. I'm going to say no. It has to be something like what they said, acrobatics. All right, make his saving roll first. If he falls, however, you must also make yours in order not to fall. Refer to 11E to see the netmaster's luck ability, but stay at this paragraph until the fight is over. If you win by killing the netmaster yourself or by making him fall through the net, go to 17B. If you don't win, you're dead. So I have to fight him in combat like normal anyway. On top of this? All right. Yeah, so I kind of really need him to just fail right away. Then hopefully I pass my roll too. All right, so back to 11E to refer to his stats. His luck is 25. Oh, man. So with the luck of 25, he only needs a 5 or higher on 2 dice to pass his roll. Because the level 3 saving roll is 30 minus the attribute. All right, let's get some cursed dice here. You know, I have my lucky saving roll dice. I'm gonna try to make a. I'm gonna try to curse some dice on him. Let's roll these black dice. It'll be the cursed dice. All right, we need him to roll under a 5. We need like a 3 and a 1 or a 2 and a 1. That's pretty much all that will work. If he gets doubles, that's add and roll over. So he's got it if he rolls even a 2. All right, and if you roll the other 4 like this, that's also doubles. So he needs to roll 3 and 1 or 2 and 1. Anyway, here goes nothing. Come on, Netmaster, fall in. Nope, he did not fall in, just barely. Drat. Okay, so I guess I have to make my roll and then fight combat and get killed. If I don't get killed from this saving roll. All right, we got to bring out the lucky saving roll dice. The cursed ones didn't work well enough. They were kind of a bad roll, but not bad enough. The golden lucky saving roll dice are here. What do I need? Level 3 on luck or dexterity. That's my choice. Well, my dexterity is better than my luck. I have 19 dexterity and 16 luck, so I need to roll 30 minus dexterity, which is 11 or higher, and it's always doubled and a reroll, but it's still kind of a hard roll to make. All right, 5, I'm dead. That's the end of Brumley the Brave, or Brumley the Hammer. Well, I did have this saving roll amulet that adds 1 to my rolls, but that's not enough. All right. What does it say? If you win, Mike. If you don't win, you're dead. All right, so I'm dead. But there was a special note in the intro by Ken St. Andre. He said, if you die due to a saving roll fail, you have an opportunity to redeem yourself at 4E. Let's try it out. What happens at 4E? This is new to me because the original City of Terror that I played back in the day didn't have that thing. It was known for being extremely brutal, which is kind of why in this edition, Ken added that extra chance at least. I already give myself extra chances, so when I can think of a situation that it makes sense to make a saving roll for. All right, here we go. 4E. As you feel yourself slipping into the numbness of death, you hear a loud snap. Before your eyes, a bright light flashes. You are engulfed by a mist that slowly dissolves. You find yourself in a large room. It is totally constructed of white marble that is flecked, let me zoom in a little bit better, and streaked with gray and black. The marble is polished so finely that it is almost like a mirror. The whole site is awesome. The ceiling is upheld by 4 pillars that are marble pyramids. You are in the center of these 4 pyramids. You look up and see a human form seated in a marble throne in front of you. The figure speaks. So I think this was actually a thing in the original game. I remember this. It just that you couldn't just go here because you failed a saving roll, if I recall correctly. I don't know. Excuse me. Anyway, it says, I am Cronus, the steward of time. You have been plucked from your death moment because you did not have a chance to influence your end. Had you died in combat, I kind of did die in combat, but it was a saving roll within combat. Anyway, I won't argue with Cronus here. Had you died in combat, you would now be dead. But since an unfortunate, excuse me. Anyway, since an unfortunate turn of events led to your downfall, you are here. I've decided to give you one chance to live. You must defeat a champion of time. You have your choice of past, present, or future. As he says this, 3 of the pyramids open to reveal dark and misty interiors. To fight in the past, go to 52C. To fight the future, not in the future. To fight the future, go to 36A. To fight the present, go to 47A. To attack Cronus, go to 33E. To refuse his boon and die, go to 24C. Stu says, I go with present. Past is liable to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think you're right because I remember seeing that artwork. I think that rings a bell too. All right, yeah, I'm going to go with present probably, or future. I might go with future. I'm not going to attack Cronus. That's not going to go well. To refuse his boon and die, go to 24. So you can do that. Anyone else have a suggestion besides Stu? Should I go with the present battle, as Stu suggests? I might do that. Future might involve somebody with a light. What did that guy have last time? A sonic sword, it said. Not a lightsaber, but a sonic sword. Stu says future could be like Captain Kirk with a phaser. Could be. By the way, I'm going to give myself my adventure points for failing that saving roll because I rolled a 5 and +1 because of my amulet. It was level 3, so I triple it, so I get 18 points for what it's worth. 97 adventure points. All right, I'm going to go with present. The Ghost of Christmas Present. Oh, and this is where that this artwork applies, by the way, that we saw before. There's Cronus. There's me about to fall into the abyss or whatnot. Now, if I die here, there is actually a separate solo adventure called The Abyss that you're supposed to go to when you die, or optionally you can go to it. And they included it in the deluxe Tunnels and Trolls manuals. So that's what I could do with another failsafe after that if I want. I've never actually done that one before. Anyway, we're going to present, which is 47A. Could have multiple levels of last chances. Ah, this is the thing with the mirrors and clones of yourself or whatnot. Okay. So I have to fight 2 clones of myself, perhaps, which would probably be impossible. Let's see what it says. As the mist clears from this room, you begin to think you are looking at yourself in 2 mirrors. You continue to believe this is a few moments more until the images of you start moving when you are motionless. I can't really process that sentence. What was it? You continue to believe this a few moments more. Okay, I got it. Until the images of you start moving when you are motionless. You set yourself for battle as they move in to attack you. Stu says this is complete bullshit. Yeah, probably just. You are the champion of the present. You must battle 2 copies of yourself. They will arm themselves as you do and weave the same spells as you. The only point of difference is that if you have an uncommonly enchanted weapon, they will get only the non-magical version of it. Okay. So I guess that's the only way you could survive if you had, like, say it was a short sword that was enchanted so it rolls a ton of dice. Then they would only get the basic version. That's like the only way you could beat them, probably. Note that spells like Vorpal Blade, Whammy, and Zapathingam are considered common enchantments. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of bullshit. The way the math in this game works, you don't really have a chance of beating 2 of them. Yeah. I wonder if I should even bother to roll. It's a lot of dice rolling for kind of a foregone conclusion. Look at the character sheet. Anything special I can do? Not really. The only thing I can rationalize is that the saving amulet I have is kind of uncommon magic, but that doesn't really help in combat. All right. I think I might have to call myself dead. And next time I get into this, I don't choose present. Maybe I choose future. Now the question remains, should I? Let's do it. I've never done this before. I'm going to bring my character into the abyss, which is a solo adventure strictly for this purpose, which is So I have multiple levels of second chances. All right, I'm going into the abyss. Again, I've never actually played this before because I never had it back in the day. But they included it in the deluxe DT&T manual. That edition came out in like 2015, I believe. And it was a strange choice because you think they would give you something that somebody who had just bought the game could play, like Buffalo Castle, like a level 1 dungeon or something. But instead, they give you one that says if you die in another adventure, you can play that. Stu says you should, take a deep breath and punch yourself in the balls. Yeah, I mean, maybe they both do that, and then I win. I don't see how I win though. Maybe I have an uncommon enchantment on like a cod piece, so I an uncommonly enchanted cod piece that makes it so I'm fine. I'm protected, but they keel over from it. No, I'm gonna say I'm dead. I'm fine with that. But I go into the abyss. Yeah, I've never played this before, and I didn't plan on doing this at all. I'm just kind of on a whim going for it. So here we are, the abyss, a solitaire adventure for dead characters by Paul Creelman. Abyss is based on medieval Christian mythology, just like Dante's Inferno and stuff, and also owes a large debt to the structure of the ancient Greek underworld. Treasures are usually found in groups of 7. An evil fortune occurs in patterns of 3. The foremost quality of the abyss is a propensity for illusion. The masters Hermes and Hephaestus enjoy deception. Introduction to the abyss. Yeah, it's a very strange choice to include this in the manual, without any other solos included. Maybe they kind of figure that people had complained over the years about the difficulty of the game, so hey, why not include a way to give a second chance right in the manual? Anyway, R.I.P. question mark. Here's a dead guy. The abyss can only be entered by a character used and killed in play. The dead character regains consciousness, holding the largest sword or dagger he can wield, and with all prime attributes he had immediately before encountering the cause of his death. A character may enter the abyss only once. You can't die in the abyss and then go to the abyss. The ground rules for the solitaire are standard. Deluxe TNT rules apply. The only automatic fail for saving rolls is 3. 1 and 2. Magic holy artifacts are usable only if they fit the options offered. Use of sorcery here is a rather touchy affair. Ethereal fluctuations in the abyss make all spells undependable. So when you decide what spell you want to cast, refer to the magic matrix to find the result. If a spell is not listed, it does not work. They only let you use a few spells here, it looks like. I'm a warrior, so I don't use spells. That's fine. There are many ways to reach the abyss, and several methods for the strong or pure of heart to leave. Strangely enough, there is no sure method of traveling to any portion of the abyss from any other. Thus, both map and memory can be untrustworthy advisors. You will not emerge unscathed, but success will award you a sweet trophy, your life. Good luck. Entry to the abyss is made alone at the edge of the last ocean. To begin, go to the first step on the next page. Combat chart. Find the category your character fits into. Use the number beside it as the multiplier for the dice roll of the monsters you face. Multiply before you add in the combat adds. This multiplier is used to signify the degree of interest the dark powers have in your character. The tougher your character, the harder they'll try to keep you. Now, fortunately, even though my guy rolls a fairly good number of dice, this goes by your combat adds only. And my combat adds are 24, which just barely puts me in the lowest category, which is 1. And this says if you have negative adds is like the lowest, but Deluxe Tales and Trolls did away with negative adds, so that must be a leftover from the previous edition. Here's the magic matrix. It doesn't apply to me. All right, here we are. The first step. Is that God? Hello, God. Excuse me. Tired. This might be where I wrap up the stream, by the way. I'll just try to finish the abyss. Try to come back or not. Probably I'm just going to die unceremoniously. You stand on the edge of a dirt plain littered with the signs of battle. Mounds of decaying corpses lie about, surrounded by the rusted remains of evil weapons. The tip of the sun starts to slip beneath the horizon. The sky is orange and scarlet. Suddenly a blinding light strikes your face. The Leonine guardian is before you, revealed in his power, robeless. His magnificent mane is flying about as though tossed by a storm, yet there is no breeze. His eyes, once dark gold, now shine like unto two suns. His voice is distorted but powerful in the sunset. It seems to shimmer visibly in the air as he speaks. According to the first agreement with the Nameless, thou may regain thy life and soul by braving the abyss. Thy way is dark, may thy fate be better. Start thy journey with the words of Dryden the scholar. The gates of hell are open night and day. Smooth the descent and easy is the way, but to return and view the cheerful skies, in this the task and mighty labor lies. Dan Demand says, you're probably not familiar with Dragon Ball Z anime. I've seen it a few times. Not really into it, but this is like when Goku dies and goes to Otherworld in an effort to come back to life. Nice. Oh, okay, I never saw that one for sure. No, I mean, I've seen a few episodes here and there, but I was never really into it. With these words, a dank fog closes on you. As the first wisps of mist curl about your feet, the last colors of sunsets darken. The chill of the fog weakens you. The guardian has departed. Yeah, this is gonna be nasty. It's gonna murder me. Far above you can see the nebulous shape of a full moon. For the first time, you notice that the pebbles underfoot are cobblestones. If you step forward, go to 2A. If you retreat backwards, go to 9B. Excuse me. If you move to one side, go to 4. What am I doing? The electric slide here or something? If you stay and observe, go to 11B. If you attempt to remove one of the cobblestones underfoot, go to 1B. This is going to be like you make the wrong move and you fall into the abyss. Stu says go backwards. Okay, because they want to go backwards from death or something. Is that the idea? Or is that your just kind of arbitrary choice? I mean, it's kind of fine. I don't have any better ideas. So the poem says, the gates of hell are open night and day, smooth descent and easy is the way. But to return and view the cheerful skies, in this task and mighty labor lies. All right, let's try going backwards, 9B. As you step backwards, you feel yourself falling. Mist surrounds you, and you hear nothing but the sea and the sound of wings. Make a first level saving roll on luck. If you make it, go to 4B. If you miss, go to 8A. All right. Well, first level isn't bad. I have a luck of 16. So let's bring out the old dice tray. My stand's falling apart. Everything's falling apart today. Let's clear this tray of dice. Clean it up. Jesus Christ. Looks like my stand's broken. Okay. It's not broken. Yay. All right. Time to bring on the lucky saving roll dice. It's not a desperate situation, I feel like. It's an easy roll. Yeah, I'm going to use them anyway. I guess the whole adventure is a desperate situation. Anyway, I have a luck of 16. Level 1 saving roll on luck means I need to roll a 20 minus luck of 16. So 4 or higher. And as usual, a 1 and 3 is the only way to fail. Alright, I rolled a 7. So I passed. Take my 7 adventure points. And we go to what? 4B. It really is so much easier playing with a PDF. I kind of like to just play with real books because it's a special thing to me, but it is a lot easier to just scroll through a PDF than try to aim the camera and everything, I gotta say. So maybe I'll mix it up once in a while. I'll just use a PDF. As you fall, a giant black bird plucks you out of the air. Oh, lucky me. His red eyes cast a baleful glance at you, while his powerful wings pump and carry both of you out of the mist. The The beast has a monster rating of 40. It will inflict no damage on you. This MR merely reflects the difficulty you will have killing the creature while you are in its talons. Do I want to kill it? I'm going to like drop to my death if I do that, won't I? Roll for its combat to reflect a lack of target as the wings with the rest of the bird's body rise and fall in flight. Wait, what are they? I don't know what that's talking about. Roll for its combat to reflect a lack of target as the wings with the rest of the... Okay, I guess it's just saying I'm stabbing it, but it's difficult to do so because it's moving and stuff. So I roll for it, but it can't actually hurt me. It's just to kind of like to reduce the amount of damage I do to it. All right, then. So what matters is how many turns I can kill it. I think I can do it in 1 to 3 turns. All right, so once again, my already cluttered scrap paper. I must cram in a bird. Cram it in right here. Bird is the word. Has MR 40, which is 5 dice plus 20. I still have my weapons and everything it said in my stats, so I should be fine. Bird versus me once again. All right, bird is the word. Bird rolls 5 dice plus 20. Bird. I hate how you can see every little speck in hair and stuff. It looks like I'm disgusting. You can see like little hairs and things. Maybe I am disgusting. All right, bird. Getting 20. Okay, so 20, 30, 37, and 1 spite. But it doesn't actually do damage to me instead, right? So just what I say, 37? Yes. All right, so I add 23. And rolling my 14 dice. I'm using my double dice. 10 in my double dice. Oh, am I showing the camera? I'm not. Oh. Sorry about that. Shoot, what did I say? They rolled a 37. I didn't write it down. This is the end of the stream in which my brain falls apart due to fatigue. Okay. All right, so I got 23 off the bat from my ads. This makes it 30. This makes it 40. This makes it 50. All right, this should be good. 60, 67. So 67 minus its 37 is obviously 30. Taking it down to 10 MR. I should be able to kill it in 2 turns. Its adds become halved to 5. Yeah, it should be no sweat. So 5 dice plus 5 is what it gets now. All right, so 5, 10, 15, 20. That was a neat roll. Yeah, no way. I have 23 off the bat to my ad, so I already won by 3, plus whatever all that was. That was actually quite a terrible roll, but I beat it by 3, I beat it by 6, I beat it by 9, I beat it by 11. Is it dead yet? Yep, it's already dead. Okay. I killed the bird. All right. Kill it in 1 to 3 combat turns. Yes, it was 2. So let's go to 8F. That's pretty creepy right there. As soon as you step out onto the plane, you hear a hunting horn. Is that right? Did I go the right? Yeah, okay. Go to 8F, it says. As soon as you step out onto the plane, you hear a hunting horn. Sweeping down on you from both sides is a wave of 4-legged beasts, vaguely equine, charging towards you. They have already cut off your way back to the court. What courtyard? Is this the wrong paragraph? Ah. It's annoying. I guess I just gotta roll with it. I don't know what else to do. Is there anything that says you killed the bird? What about this? This is the bird here, isn't it? That's from this. That's where it's carrying you to. I guess if you don't kill it fast enough, it carries you to its nest. This looks like killing the bird, though. Maybe that's if you don't kill it fast enough. 9C. I really hate when there are errors in the paragraphs. They happen in almost every adventure, though, so it could be a thing here. Yeah, 9 to see it if it takes you 4 to 6 combat turns. All right, whatever. I'm just rolling with 8F. I'm in the plains. There's horse-like things attacking me. And I can't go back to the courtyard that I never was introduced to in the first place. All right. If you run for the cave entrance, go to 11C. If you stand and fight, go to 7B. First of all, should I take adventure points for defeating the bird that can't fight back? Probably not. I couldn't fight back. Yeah, I'm gonna run for it, I guess. Run for the cave entrance. A wave of four-legged beasts. Yeah, a wave of them might be a little tough. Let's run for 11C. No, this looks good, right? The cave entrance leads inward. The path is inlaid with pearly marble tiles, exquisitely carved and set in the floor. Every dozen feet there is a flickering torch set in the wall. The path seems to incline slightly downwards. If you go this way, go to 5B. If you go out along the plain, go to 8F. It'll take me back to the waves of equine creatures at 8F, right? Yeah, that's where I was. All right. I guess I'll keep going in this incline 5B. What could go wrong? In a cave in hell leading downward. The path leads smoothly downwards. After traveling for some time, you come to the entrance of a huge underground cavern. At this point, the tunnel behind you disappears. You look around behind you. The spot where the tunnel was is now a cul-de-sac in the cavern. As soon as your character recovers from the shock of this, proceed to 3A. Okay. What? This is broken. I hate this. Okay. All right. Fine. 3A. If you want to fight a duel with another horse beast, I didn't fight any horse beast. Return to 11A and try it again. Okay, I guess it makes sense depending on the context. I guess it's just not perfectly written. I think I am in the right place though. It says you're at the end of a huge cavern or something. Fine, let's go with it. You're at the end. You're at one end of a huge cavern, which is many rods across. Rods? 2 rods stretch from floor of polished crystal to dome of carven bronze and pearl glass. It is lit by flickering torchlight. 77 torches. 7 means what in this? It means holy stuff, but 3 means evil. Something like that. Let me refer back to that page. Where did it say that? Was it up here actually? Up here. Treasures are usually found in groups of 7. And evil fortune occurs in patterns of 3. Alright, so 77 torches, was it? 77 torches set in golden holders. There is a tall, wrought metal gate set in the opposite wall. It is magical and holds the sea back. It is the exit to your world. Alright, did I already find the exit that I'm looking for? But how would I get there? Let's see. Before you is the beast of the sea. It has the form of a huge leopard with 10 heads. A horn upon each head. Isn't that in Revelation? On each of the horns is a crown of jewels and gold. Written upon the heads are cruel black runes in an unknown tongue, and the runes are evil to look upon. The beast blocks your path to the door and your freedom. If you wish to try to dodge the 10 heads in a mad dash for freedom, go to 10D. If you want to stand and fight the beast, go to 5E. Wow. Let's see. What should I do? Fight the beast? I mean, this is like trying to think of what the name of it is in Revelation. Does he even give it a name? It's probably not something you want to tangle with directly. I wouldn't think. But how can you dodge 10 heads? Says Stu. That's a good point as well. How good is your luck? Says Dan. I have 16 luck. If it's a level 1 saving roll I have to make, that wouldn't be too bad. But it probably would be beyond. It might not even be a luck roll. It might make me make a roll on speed or something if I have to run past it. Here's the funny thing though. Speed was only introduced relatively late in the life of the game. It's still like talking about the age or something, but for some reason, none of the older solos were updated to take into account speed. Sometimes, occasionally, you see that. So, in other words, it's probably not the case that they make me roll against my speed. They might make me roll against something else, though. Anyway, it's usually that I'm disappointed they don't give you an option to do something clever. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm actually wondering, given that I'm in that category where nothing multiplies, I wonder if I could just go head to head with it, go toe to toe with it. I might be able to. Look at 3D, by the way, says Stu. You wander into a place that cannot be reached on this adventure and are surrounded by complete darkness. A booming voice warns you, turn back to go to whence you came or dwell in this darkness forever. Go back to the paragraph you came from. If you've forgotten where that was, go to the first step. Haha. I'm going to stand and fight. I think it's probably a dumb move. They're both dumb moves, though. So it's like which dumb moves I want to make. All right, I'm going to stand and fight 5E. Roll a 6-sided die. This is the number of 15 MR beast heads that attack you. Okay, I might be able to handle that depending on what I roll. I think like 4 or less, I'm probably fine. Just doing some math in my head. Until you have destroyed all the heads fighting you. Oh, geez. Okay, this is where I'm doomed. Until you have destroyed all the heads fighting you, roll another 6-sided die each combat turn. This additional number of heads joins the fight. There will never be more than 10 heads fighting you at one time. If you have an ally, both of you share hits but cannot use him as a shield. Cannot use the other person as a shield. After you defeat all the heads engaging you, even if there are still unscathed heads, you may elect to dodge to freedom. In that case, you only have to dodge the remaining heads. Go to 10D. Oh, that suggests is if I had chosen the other option, I'd have to roll like, I don't know, maybe 10 rolls or something like that. If you stand and destroy all the remaining heads, go to 1D. Okay, this is doable. I do have to roll pretty good with the number of heads that appear, though. If I roll a 6, that's going to be trouble. I'm just taking dice out of my tray to clear it. All right, back to the camera. Yeah, let's just do it. We're gonna roll black for a dark and evil creature. Yeah, here we go. This is how many 15 monster eating heads I have to fight the first round. It is 3. That might be doable, yeah. All right. Let's get a new piece of scrap paper. Do I have one handy is the question. I have to stroll over to my printer. That scrap paper has reached its limit. All right, so 3 heads. They're MR 15 each. what's right? Head 1, head 2, head 3. That's 2 dice plus half of 15, which is 8. Round up. 2d plus 8. 2d plus 8. So it's a total of 3 dice. 6 dice plus 24 versus my 14 dice plus 23. I should own them in one round. Well, do I kill them all in one round is the question. I might not kill them all in one round. And then more of them will join the fight. Let's see what we can do. All right. We're using black dice for them, I said. Where's my black container? Got dice strewn about. This game is crazy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's how I'm playing it is crazy. You don't have to have a million different colors of dice. All right. So 6 dice plus 24 is them. Let me write. What are these guys called? What does it call them? Heads. Heads versus tail. No, versus me. And they roll yeah, they roll what they roll. Question is my constitution restored after I died? I don't really know the answer to that. Or would I just leave it at where it was? I think I leave it where it was probably. Which was 49. Oh yeah, I got healed from the healer who I owe $1,000 to. I'm gonna like come out of hell. I'll be like all bloody and crawling out. So glad I survived. Panting, wounded, just mind boggled that I went through all that. And then it's only the debt collectors are gonna pounce upon me. You owe me $1,000. I just killed the beast of revelation. And anyway. All right, well, so they rolled pretty high, unfortunately, but they started with, 24, 30, 40. That is a solid 50 on the button with 2 spite. All right. Usually I'm rolling, like high 60s or low 70s or something like that, so I might not kill all 3. I think I'm not going to kill all 3 of them. Four, 6. And once again, I'm using these orange dice to count as double. Not too happy with that roll, but okay. So I start with my 24, not 23. 30, 40, 50, 60, that's double. 62, 64, 70, 74 is my roll with 3 spite. All right, so it looks like I deal 24 damage to them. I always forget if you can choose, like, I'm just going to play that I can choose how I apply the hits. Sorry, I do 24 and I take 2 spite damage from them, so I'm down to 47 con. And yeah, so in applying my 24, I'm going to say I killed 1. That goes to 15, and the remaining 9 damage I'll put on the next guy. So this guy's done. Head 1 is done. Head 2 it's as reduced to 3. And head 3 is unscathed. And now what happens? Another die worth of heads comes back. You really need a 1 on this roll. I'm going to outpace them. All right, here we go. How many new heads spawn? 4. That's not fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not good, actually, at all. Each of them are 15. Okay, that means, yeah, I'm kind of screwed now, I think. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Plus 11, 19, 27, 35, 43. Okay. Yeah, I'm effed. All right. Well, can I use my streetwise on them? My bargaining on them? My wombat venom? Yeah. I don't want to use the wombat venom just because I would have to try to decipher that the way they described it working. It's like if after 5 hits and then a turn of the enemy being frozen, after which it doubles, and like, what are you talking about? I think you need to use it on a bladed weapon anyway. It said. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how to survive this, but I'm gonna roll first. And hopefully, get a miracle here. So you get 1 reroll. What context? A combat reroll? I don't get any rerolls that I'm aware of. Oh, let's see some 6s here. A lot of 1s too. And I start with 24, 30. Don't cheat yourself. 40, 50, 55, and this is a double. Sorry, this is a double, so 56 plus 12 is 68. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 68 and 4 spite. At least I'll get 4 spite in on them, I guess, before I die. All right, let's roll their 12 dice plus 43. Ugh. I'm gonna roll the 12 dice straight, not worry about my doubly. By the way, the reason why I'm rolling these double dice because I thought it'd be cool to say above 10 dice, every pair you can roll with a different color and just double the amount. Anyway, this is what they roll. I need to see like all 1s pretty much, just to see a lot of 6s and things and 5s. All right, so I'm probably screwed. But they start with 43 off the bat. Ugh. 43, 50, 60, 70, 81, 85, and 2 spite. All right. So they beat me by, was it 17? Yeah. They do 17 to me, but I get 4 spite damage. All right, I guess I'll play my 4 spite to, I don't know, it doesn't matter at this point. I guess I'm doomed. But how much damage did I take in? 17. My armor can cancel a lot of that. Just kind of, pretty much no way I can catch up because you're gonna get more heads from here. Yeah, I guess I should have just dodged for freedom. Attempted to dodge for freedom. All right. Well, let's play it out anyway for the heck of it. Would I take 17? I can try to use the warrior ability to double their armor effectiveness. It's kind of not going to save me, but I'm going to try it anyway. I need to look up how that works though. On my character sheet, my custom character sheet, I wrote all these little notes like how that works. So that should help me figure it out at least. Without having to wade through the rulebook. All right. Armor. Warriors may double hits taken, but check for damage. Damage increased by 1 if saving roll on luck with level of current damage plus 1 is failed. Yeah. it's going to get complicated sometimes. Armor listing. All right, so essentially I can say the armor, for each individual piece of armor I have, it doubles the amount of damage that it soaks up, but I have to roll a saving roll on my luck to see if it gets permanently damaged because I overextend it somehow or something like that. All right. Part of me goes, I don't even want to bother doing all that complicated math, but let's do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. So normally I soak up 8 damage between my breastplate, my Roman helmet, and my bracers, and I have to soak up 17 right now. So let's try to double the effectiveness of my breastplate. What if I do all 3? Wait, Jesus. All right, so hold on. I'm taking 17 damage right now. But if we subtract 8, it becomes 9. But if I double the effectiveness of the breastplate, it becomes 5. Double this one, it becomes 3. Double this one, it becomes 1. But they did spite of 2, so I take 2 damage. All right, so I'm taking 2 damage. But now I have to roll for each of these pieces of armor to see if they hold up due to my doubling of their value or whatever. So let's roll. First of all, I have luck 16, so I only need to make a level 1 saving roll. 4 up will do. Yeah, 4 up will do it. Okay, I get 5 for the first one. That's a breastplate. For the helmet, 9, 5, 9, and okay, they all held up. 5, 9, and 6. I might as well take my adventure points from that. 5 and 9. 14 and 6 is 20. I have 124 adventure points. Can I boost something right now to give myself an edge? Not really. All right. So I essentially only took 2 damage from all that, but now they have another N heads. Oh, I can do my force bite. How am I going to deal that out? What I really want to do is maximize the amount of adds I can reduce with the damage. Or I guess I want to focus on one guy. Yeah, if I could have bumped off one guy, that would have been great, but I can't. I can only get him down to 2 MR. At least that reduces his adds. That one head adds to 1. I mean, there is a slight chance I could keep holding out like this with the armor and finish them gradually with spite, but they're gonna just totally outclass me rapidly unless I roll like a. Even if I roll a 1, I don't know. Let's just roll instead of thinking about it. Here we go. I'm gonna roll the blue die now for how many heads spawn. Dan the Man says the Abyss of Terror is as easy as the City of Terror. Tiger Man would have spoken cat to this leopard and convinced him to let a fellow bro pass. Invincible Tiger Man. I like the way you're thinking. Okay, that's the rest of the heads. The rest of the 10 heads join the fray. So number 8, 9, and 10 are here. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see how long I can hold out. My goodness. 15 MR each. 2 dice plus 8 each. And what is our grand total now? Good Lord. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. In this game, ridiculous. 18 dice plus 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 65 adds. Well then. Yeah, this math is really not working in my favor here. All I can hope to do is whittle them down with spite damage. You know, if I can do 2 damage this round, it'll knock down 2 dice at least and 1 head. Because I'll kill that 1 head. Sue says, although it seemed like he might snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, the actual outcome was never really in doubt. You're probably right. All right. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to roll an awesome roll right now. I'm going to roll all 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and my 2 double dice. All right. Here goes nothing. I start with 24 and should I use my singing talent to lull them to sleep? Would that work? Okay. I see 6s, but I also see 1s, so starting with 24, we got 30, 40, 48, 49, 54, 60, and our double guys bring me to 74 with 3 spite. Yeah, this one's gonna hurt. 3 spite will finish that one head, but yeah. Now let's roll an enormous pile of dice for them. Yeah, rolling 18 dice plus 65. Oh my goodness. It is 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's get 6 more. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my goodness. This game is called How Many Dice Can You Roll at Once Before Giving Up? I don't think I've ever seen any game that requires you to roll this many dice. Okay, I see a lot of 1s. Every time I see in one area a whole lot of 1s, it kind of gets balanced out elsewhere. Anyway, they're starting with 65 off the bat. 70. 80. 90. It shifted 1, but it's 90. 97. 100. And we gotta add all these ones too. 112. 116. 117. 118. 119. And 3 spite. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Well, let's see how much I can extend my armor. So the difference is what? 45 by my math, right? Yeah. I will survive it this round. Then it'll get easier from here, but it's not gonna. I just can't do this too many turns. All right, so 45 damage minus. How much is it with all my armor doubled? Should have got more armor. So it's basically 16 I can subtract. All right. My brain is shot. I'm not mathing too well at this point, but it looks like 29 damage to me. Yeah. All right, that takes my con down to, to 16. And I have to roll saving rolls to see if my armor gets beat up. At least I'm making those rolls pretty well, I think. Okay, basically anything but a 2 and a 1 will hold up. The breastplate holds up with an 11. The helmet holds up with a 9. The bracers hold up with a 5. So when I say 11, 9 is 20, 25. If I have 25, I get 25 adventure points, taking me to 149. How can I spend those 149 to bump something to give me an ad? The answer is still no. I guess the low-hanging fruit would be if I get to 160, I could improve my luck by 1, which would give me 1 more ad. Just try to squeeze out every ounce of an advantage I can think of here. But at least I do 3 damage, so I kill one of the heads. H2 is dead, and I can do 1 damage to another one. And that's 1 fewer ad for him because he got 14 MR, which makes his ad, which is the half of the MR, to 7. All right, so Essentially, we're at 16 dice plus, I think 63, but let me add it up again. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56 plus 7 is 63. This one's dead. All right, it's an improvement, right? But you got to figure, even though I am theoretically able to wear them down a little bit with spite, it's just maybe 2 turns I'll survive if I'm lucky. I think this is going to be like the last turn at all, really. But we'll see. All right, so we need 16 dice for them now. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Okay. Thanks for staying up late with me, doing all this silliness, guys. Well, it's only the peak viewership happened. It's 7 viewers. Now that we're getting really silly with my death spiral here. Thanks for joining, though, guys. If you don't get a higher roll, you're done. Yeah, I gotta roll extremely well, and they have to roll crap. For those who just joined, I am in the Abyss. Actually, I'm not in the City of Terrors. I died in the City of Terrors. So what I did was I decided to play the Adventure of the Abyss. That gives you a second chance at survival. And I am fighting essentially the I don't know what it's called, the beast from the Book of Revelation or something. It's got like it's got 10 heads and crowns on each head and blah blah blah. Dan the man says it calls for the golden dice. All right, I'll call in the golden dice, sure. Anyway, the math is working out that I'm about to get destroyed, but I do have this tiny glimmer of hope in that I managed to kill off the second of the 10 heads last turn. So I bet I need extreme luck, and it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, this is the dice we roll for the beastie, and it's starting with odds of 63 off the bat. Okay, 63, and let's make this a nice 70. This is terrible. 80, 90, 100, 110, 115 with 2 spite. Only a little bit less than last turn. All right, here goes nothing. I'm going to include the golden dice as Dan the man tests. All right, I'm rolling 14 dice. I've been using a system where I for every pair of dice above 10, I will use doubling dice. So these count as double. But I'm going to throw in the lucky golden dice as well. They're just single dice, so I don't know if anybody's following my logic here. I'm just kind of being silly, really. So this is hurting my brain is what it's doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So these are just for show, the golden ones, essentially. These ones count as double. And Stu says your dice rolls are terrible. Yep, pretty much. Well, do I have any hope of surviving? There's no point in trying to pre-calculate that. I think the answer is no. But let's just roll and find out. I guess if I'm extremely lucky, I might survive this one round, but I'm not going to do enough spite damage to kill even one of the heads because, you know, I'm rolling 14 dice. I'm not going to roll 14 sixes. That's just impossible. Stu says use the ability that lets you roll 20-sided dice instead. Yeah. Bunch of ones and shit. All right. All right, so starting from 24, we got 30, 40. This is doubles of 50, 60. The golden dice did roll well, just not anything else. 60, 64, 65, 66. 68, 70. 70. Well, at least I got 2 spite and before undead. But as you can see, this is 45 damage, which is exactly what they rolled last time. And I figured out I could extend my armor to subtract 16. I erased it here. It's the same math though. So I take 29 damage and I am done. I is a dead buddy, or I is dead buddy, as Stu mentioned. So that's kind of all the second chances I'm able to squeeze out of this that I can possibly think of. So yeah, I guess I am done, and it's kind of a good time to call it quits anyway. It is like 1 a.m. my time. Let's check some of these comments I got on Tunnel and Trolls Facebook group. Aaron Hughes says, I love playing the Citizen class on City of Terrors, never gets old. Okay. Citizen means a generic guy with no like a standard person with no special advantages or abilities. So he's just joking about how ridiculous that is. I got a few likes and stuff. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it. I can roleplay the funeral now. Yeah. It is kind of funny that everybody chimed in just as I was wrapping up my horrible demise. Looks like 2 people left now, though. Dan the Man says, everyone tuning in to watch the climactic end of Brumley, the poetic hammer dwarf, get ripped to pieces by a giant 8-headed horned leopard. Well, it was actually a 10-headed. Well, it did have 10 heads, right? I didn't mess up the limit, right? Let me check on that. I'm trying to come up with any possible thing I can to let myself survive. It was 10 heads, right? Ten heads, yeah. I was hoping maybe I missed something and Dan the Man was right. There was only 8. In which case, I might have had a chance if there was only 8. All right. Well, that's it. No more second or third or 8th chances that I can possibly come up with. That was City of Terrors, followed by a trip into the abyss. And none of that went well, but it was fun, and I explored a little bit more of the abyss than last time. I killed 2 heads, as Dan the Man points out. Yeah, and you know what? Wonder if I could have rationalized that killing 2 of the 15 MR heads would give me 30 adventure points, and then I could have upgraded one of my luck points on the fly. It wouldn't have made a difference, but you got to try to squeeze out every ounce of advantages that you can in this game sometimes. Anyway, I guess that's it, and that will probably put aside City of Terrors. Don't know when I will revisit that again. I'm definitely gonna visit Tunnels and Trolls again. You know, I've got like at least 20 Tunnels and Trolls books that I haven't played on stream. Many of them I haven't played at all. And so yeah, probably we'll have to retire the City of Terrors for the foreseeable future, but that's definitely a lot of fun, even if it's ridiculous and deadly. Yeah, it has a reputation for being exactly those things: very fun, also ridiculous and deadly. That's what it is. It is City of Terrors. It is Mike Stackpole trying to kill you. But even this weird little guy without the shirt on could probably kill you horribly. And same thing with that woman in the pink dress. Same thing as this orc. This hunchback guy could probably murder you in your sleep. This haughty looking elf guy, he probably kicks you in the crotch really hard. The half naked girl with the giant bird, she probably sicks the bird on you, but you can have sex with her later if you pass your charisma roll. By the way, for those who didn't see it last time, there's multiple sexual encounters in this adventure, and one of them is pretty funny. It's this old lady, the old cat lady. Let's see if I can find that real quick. And when you encounter her, you know, she casts a modified bigger is better spell on you before she does you, before you do her, whatever the case may be. And bigger is better is a spell that makes an object bigger. So you have to wonder what this modified version of that spell is. Here you go. Here's the cat lady. You just walk into her house, really wrinkled, shriveled old lady with a bunch of cats. And you have a choice. If you wish to make love to her, go to 50E. We just thought this was so hilarious last time. We have to relive this moment. Dan the Man says next time we visit the charming city, we need to get that sonic sword, baby. Yeah. You cat, it takes a real degenerate to proposition an old lady who is a grandmother type. She says it's the best offer she's had all day. She makes love to you after she casts a modified bigger is better spell on you. Raise your charisma by 3 and go to 35C with her undying gratitude. Here's the picture of that about to transpire. And I joked that your arm looks awfully small, so maybe she modified your arm so it doesn't look comically small. Anyway, Stu said just all day. LOL. I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe yesterday somebody else made that offer, or one of her cats did something nice. I don't know. I'm clearly overtired and deranged. Yeah, and once again, we're at our peak viewership now that we're turning this thing off. But yeah, City of Terrors is wonderfully silly, fun, and if you enjoy that, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and blah blah blah, the bell for notifications. I will beg for your viewership in the future. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll revisit Tunnels and Trolls. Perhaps we'll just play a computer game next week, though. Yeah, that's all I got. So thanks to Stu and Dan the Man for chatting with me all night. Thanks to Matthew Kirkhart for chatting with me for, I believe, the first time. That was a lot of fun. And Dice Tales as well. Dice Tales. Ooh. We had Eric Johnson earlier and Lago Masker. So thanks again, everyone. And I'll see you guys either next Thursday or next Saturday or next never, depending on when you want to watch me. So that's all. Good night, guys. Take care.